No. Oh, I was like, what's wrong?
Whoa.
There we go. I forgot to do a thing. It,
I was like, I see my face twice.
it's been a while, guys. It's been a couple of weeks. Hakuna your tatas. No, go away. I forgot to turn on some background music.
This is important.
This is important. Hi, everybody. It's been a while.
Hello.
All right. Some relaxing meditation music in the background. Please let me know if it is too loud or too soft. I have no idea. Hi, Mr. Evelina. Okay. So those of you who might be new to Coffee with Crymson, Coffee with Crymson is my weekly mental health talk show, where I usually have a special guest on and we talk about something specific.
That's what Daddy likes.
The sound still went off. It was awkward timing. Thanks, Danny Sexbang. So yes, we're going to talk about. We usually talk about a specific mental illness, but today we are going to be talking about burnout in particular. So it changes up our dynamic just a little bit. However, just in case you're not aware, if we talk about anything sensitive, which very possibly could pop up at any time, if you find anything sensitive or triggering, please feel free to leave the stream. We understand that it's not going to be everybody's cup of tea, and we are obviously not upset by it. We will try to open up time for questions at a later point. We take several breaks throughout here. Also, nobody here is a medical professional in any way, shape, or form. But if you need help or would like to talk to a medical professional, we definitely have numbers that you can reach out to and websites that you can check out. So I am Crymson Pleasure as always, and this with me, my lovely assistant for the day, Vanri the Road.
Hello.
Who finished a 4-hour stream to come do another 4-hour stream.
I did, yes. But I feel less sick, so yay.
Yay! And this is much more relaxing.
Yeah.
Ooh. Now the music is quite loud. Hold on. I forgot I had to turn everything down last night for Tokyo Dark. So you were down low. And then I put everything back to the normal volume and the music got really loud. No, we're just really tired.
Yeah.
We're
a little bit burnt out.
A little burnt out.
You could say.
I feel a lot better. So I actually picked burnout for a specific reason today. I picked burnout because I experienced burnout for the first time in my life last week. And I thought I was impervious to burnout. And Vanri, for everybody at home, what is burnout?
So, I've got this pulled up. I'm going to read it because I have a terrible memory. So burnout is a state of emotional, physical, and mental exhaustion caused by excessive and prolonged stress. It occurs when you feel overwhelmed, emotionally drained, and unable to meet constant demands. So as the stress continues, you begin to lose the interest and motivation that led you to take on a certain role in the first place.
But this is specifically easy to talk to Vanri about. Vanri continuously goes through burnout.
Yeah, quite often.
Often, that's the better word.
Burnout. Yeah,
often. Vanri often feels burnout, whereas, and this is one of those funny things where we make jokes to people all the time about how we are very yin and yang. I am 38 and I have finally felt burnout for the first time in my life. So, and it was very interesting because, at first I thought I was sick. And I don't know if you guys remember, I was talking about my streams, how I wasn't feeling so well and everything like that. I thought I was sick. I knew I wasn't depressed because that's a different feeling.
Yes.
And I had no will What did you do?
I moved my headset and it flipped around, so the metal part just jabbed into my ear.
Thanks. Don't deafen yourself, please. So yeah, at first I thought I was sick because I was so tired and I didn't want to do anything. But I wasn't, I knew I wasn't, it wasn't like another depressive episode because I wasn't having those depressed thoughts. I was just exhausted and I literally wanted to do absolutely nothing, which is new for me.
Burnout is kind of, the way that I think about it is it's kind of like a depressive episode without the thoughts. It's all the physical, the physical parts of being depressed without the mental parts of being depressed.
Yeah. The only thing there was anxiety. It was a lot of anxiety because the burnout was caused because we have a charity event next weekend. We had Drawlicon this past weekend. I was in 5 panels at Drawlicon. 4 panels and a live show, but still 5 things. And Drawlicon is new for us. Going to conventions isn't new. Being on panels is new. Driving to another state is new. Staying at an Airbnb, these are all new things to me. So there was that stress. There was the stress of, I felt like I was failing the charity event, and I go through that every year. I go through that stress and anxiety of having the charity event and then just constantly feel like I'm failing it and everybody around me with it. And then I've been building an e-commerce website pretty hardcore for about a month now, as like my 3rd job. And I just stopped. I just couldn't anymore. And I hated it. I absolutely hated that feeling. And I laid in bed for like 2 days. And after, like, I'm not saying I feel amazing. I'm still exhausted from Drawlicon. I still have a lot of work to do. But as soon as one thing was off my plate, I instantly started feeling better. Like, once we got to Drawlicon, I had nothing to do except Drawlicon. I felt amazing. I felt a lot better about everything. And all that anxiety had disappeared. And then I came back. And I still have some stress. I still have some anxiety. But it wasn't as bad as it was last week when we were on our way to Drawlicon and I thought I was going to die. So, yeah, I burned myself out. Yay!
It's bound to happen eventually.
I am the most obsessive worker I know.
Yes. You are the most obsessive worker I know, too.
And I think that's funny because my entire life people thought that I was a slacker and everything like that. And I can be. 100% can be. I love procrastination. But when I'm passionate about something and I am invested in something, when I feel like I am a part of something, I will not sleep. I will stop eating. I will 100% throw everything I can into whatever it is I am working on. Which is why nobody's allowed to talk to me on Tuesdays anymore.
Correct. Except for me, because I'll be like, yeah, no, let's just sit down and watch movies.
Typically, honestly, we sit down and watch YouTube. We don't even watch movies. We just stare at YouTube for like
we don't watch
4 hours.
Movies anymore. It's just YouTube. It's all YouTube. YouTube and Vines.
Thank you, Adventure. I appreciate that. I do take a lot of pride in what I do. But there is such a thing as taking too much pride in what you do, to the point where you die a little bit. Just a little bit. So this is going to be a little bit more freeform than typically because we have specific questions about specific disorders, and I'll eventually work on a more freeform thing. So that was me explaining my burnout. So how does burnout work for you?
For me, it kind of like it shows itself as like just a major lack of motivation, like lazy to the extreme when it comes to things that I have to do. I start dreading everything. I just spend every minute of every day just like constantly, I hate this, or I don't want to do this, or I want to go home, or Like, you know, I don't want to look at that or anything like that. So, it's just like the best way I can describe it is a huge lack of motivation on what I'm doing. So it happens for me most often with jobs, especially full-time jobs, and especially full-time jobs that I do well. So I think my most recent bout of burnout was at my last full-time job. I worked at a pretty major international company, and I ended up switching jobs within the company to something that was a little less sales based and a little more customer service based. And I did so well, according to my boss, and she just kept giving me more and more and more work to do. And like, she was giving me bigger accounts, but she was giving me all of the big cases. Like, she wasn't giving, you know, me a big case and then somebody else a big case. She piled 3 on at once, and I just couldn't take it anymore. Like, it just immediately flipped a switch for me. And like, I knew that was going to keep happening, and that actually eventually led to me leaving that job. So for me, it happens more with jobs than it does for anything else. And unfortunately, that does kind of leak into the other things that I do.
Yeah.
So like, if I'm really overwhelmed and burnout in, you know, this one huge aspect of my life, this 40 hours a week of my life, then I'm not going to want to do anything else either. All I'm going to want to do is just,
it's a ripple effect.
Sit on the couch and watch TV.
It's a ripple effect.
Yeah.
It starts in one place and it just feeds out into everything else. So you burn out in one place and everything suffers from it. That's the same thing that happened. I mean, like, I was out for 2 days. I was down for the count for 2 days, and I just laid there. But I literally did nothing. I sent no emails. I sent no messages. I didn't play with Lily. I did absolutely nothing. I laid in bed, and I think I binge watched Lucifer again on Netflix, just like I do when I'm sick or I'm depressed. I did the same thing. I just binge watched Netflix because that was about all I could do. I lacked so much, like, anything. I lacked everything. I had no focus. I had no concentration. I had no, like, I mentally was not a human being anymore. I was a blob in a bed that just stared at stuff. So it's good to know that I do have a breaking point. It wasn't fun finding it, but I can deal with 2 big things at one time, and that's it.
Yeah.
But yeah, you don't know how it's going to happen or what your trigger points or anything until you reach them, and it's like, oh, maybe I shouldn't do this anymore. So, how do you deal with burnout?
I kind of try to identify what the problem is, and I'm the type of person with things like that, like, especially with what my burnout usually comes from, which is job related. I'm the type of person where I'll just find a new job. Like, I won't necessarily, like, talk to my boss and be like, hey, so I'm feeling really burnt out. Like, is there anything that we can do about this? Which I think, honestly, this last boss probably would have been receptive to that.
Yeah.
If I had done that. But no, I just, the way that my brain works, I'm like, well, if it's happening now, it's going to happen again, and I need to just leave the situation. So yeah, I mean, I feel like my approach is usually avoidance.
That's like, a terrible way to deal with things, by the way.
I know.
For those of you at home, that's a terrible way to deal with your problems.
Yes. Don't do what I do.
So, well, you also, I know this, you also have a terrible time saying no to people.
Correct.
So, I could easily see, even if you had talked to her and been like, hey, I'm burnt out, can we do something? If it started piling up again, you wouldn't say, look, I can't.
Right.
Because I can feel it's going to happen. You would take you would take it on, and then maybe have another conversation if you could, or else just find something else.
Yeah.
So,
and also, I mean, burnout wasn't 100% of the reason why I left anyway.
It was company.
Yeah. It was a big part of the reason. It seems like as soon as I reach that burnout point, like usually when I start a job, I absolutely love it. It's the best thing ever. And then I reach the point of burnout, and because I always try to give 110% at my job. Like I always have. That's just how I am. And so when I reach that point of burnout, then I start noticing all the things that I missed because I was so happy there before.
Mm-hmm.
And like with this last company, it became really obvious that the company doesn't care about its employees. It became really obvious that, the team dynamic was actually pretty toxic and like things like that. So just all in all, like it tends to help me make a decision that's better for myself. But honestly, once I went back to working part-time, I felt so much better.
Yeah.
Like, just in general, my stress level went down. Even as a manager, I don't feel as stressed as I did at that job.
Well, there's also people who thrive in corporate environments and people who don't.
Yeah, and I do not.
And yeah, we are both one of those people who do not thrive in any type of corporate environment because it turns into like it's a whole different system of relationships and bureaucracy and stuff like that, and it's just and I'm not saying that retail jobs and the such are not the same way, but it's a similar but different at the same time.
Yeah,
you still have to, once you get higher up in the company, you still have to kiss butt. You still have to play the game, as they say, and do all of those things. But it's not the same. I can't really explain it. It's not the same. Yeah. I've worked both. I've worked retail and I've worked in desk jobs, and I far prefer retail.
Yeah. It's it's a different feeling altogether. Like when you're dealing with customers in a corporate setting, it's usually over the phone or through email, which you can't read people's expressions, you can't get a feel for them or anything like that through those mediums. But in retail, you're face to face with them, so you can tell if somebody's going to be angry, if somebody's not going to be angry. Like you get a little bit of a head start there.
Yeah.
You get a warning, yeah. You can get a feel for like what kind of vibe the person has by being face to face with them. And also in retail, you're more likely to be moving around, doing more.
It's far less
physical
repetitive.
labor. Yeah, it's less repetitive, and like it allows you to exercise a bit while you're working. You're not just sitting in one spot staring at the same screen for 8 hours a day. You're moving around. You're interacting with people. It's more stimulating.
Yeah. I mean, kudos to anybody who can do it.
Right.
That's just magic to me. If you can sit at a desk and you can do it all day, that's amazing. And I commend you for it. I'm just not one of those people, unfortunately. Now I can sit at this desk all day, but I'm also doing 12 things at a time. So I'm never staring at the same screen. I'm always doing something different. And then I also have the freedom of being like, well, I'm not going to work on this project anymore. I'm going to work on this project. So even if I haven't finished my task, I'm like, I'm done with you. I'm going to go edit some videos now, or I'm going to record something, or I'm going to send some emails, or I'm going to surf the internet, or I'm going to poke people on Twitter. And the beauty of my job, but nobody's paying me. My husband likes to argue that he's paying me, but Nobody's paying me.
And well, having that freedom and the ability to switch between a lot of things can also help you avoid burnout, because like repetition can absolutely lead to burnout. I think a lot quicker than having variety in your day.
Well, okay, so and sticking to burnout but switching gears a little bit, I don't know who you are. Stop calling me. I think that we see that a lot in gaming. We constantly see people burn out, but the people I see burn out the quickest, in my opinion, are the people who've been playing the same game or streaming the same game for weeks, months, years.
Yeah.
So I see somebody who's playing nothing but like, and these are just examples. I'll see somebody who's playing Fortnite every stream burn out a lot faster than a person who plays a different game every stream, or will play through a game and then switch. So when you get stuck in games like Battle Royales and stuff like that, like Vanri burned out on Dead by Daylight. Mm-hmm. But that was all Vanri played.
It was
like 6 months.
For like 8 months, yeah. It was the only game that I streamed. And the thing is, I wanted to play it. I really did. And then just one day, I was done with it. And then after that, like I scrambled. Not really scrambled, but like I kind of grasped for a new game to play, and I didn't even find that. I kept trying different games, and like people weren't showing up to streams anymore because it wasn't as fun. And then I burned out on streaming a little bit, and then I took a really long break. And then I switched platforms.
Well, that has nothing to do with the burnout.
True. True.
But yeah, so that's why, like, if I encourage people to stream, I encourage them to be a variety streamer in some way, shape, or form, or play games. Like, if you're going to stream a game, do like an RPG that has an end. Mm-hmm. Or I will play Fortnite like every Monday, something like that. So you're not just, and I know like a lot of people streaming wise, especially like building their communities around a game, because honestly, that's the easiest thing to do, is play one game all the time, and then those people constantly come back. However, you're gonna burn out quickly, very, very quickly doing that. Mm-hmm. And I don't think I've burned out on a game yet. I say I don't think because I wouldn't know.
Well, I mean,
I would have
in a way, we both did burn out on Friday the 13th. Because like we play it, and it's just kind of boring now. Yeah, it's like
we got out of the honeymoon period. It was really cute at first. And then we realized that people were assholes and stuff like that. So
yep. And I don't know when it happened, but the glitches in the game turned from endearing to really annoying.
Super annoying. So yeah, we did burn on Friday the 13th. We were so, because we were such horror nerds and we're so into it that we were like, we've got to do the thing. We've got to play the game, and we told everybody we were going to play the game, and we did. And then we hated the game. And we still, to an extent, hate the game. Even though we still, to an extent, play the game. Mm-hmm. But it was a realization that, like, at first it was like, oh, this game is so much better than Dead by Daylight. And then afterwards it was like, no, it's not. It's not better than Dead by Daylight. It's just different. Yeah. But it wasn't so different that we could keep going back to it and be satisfied with it, because we realized that there's like a rhythm to it, whereas it doesn't feel, for me, it doesn't feel like that way for Dead by Daylight. I think things are more spontaneous. It feels more spontaneous in Dead by Daylight, even though you're doing the same thing every time, than it is in Friday the 13th. So I don't know. For me, it's just a feeling. But the amount of times I see gamers like burn out, like, I can't play this game anymore, and it's just like, then don't. Yeah. Especially don't force yourself to play the game, because then you just turn into a terrible person.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I tried to keep playing games that I was burned out on because because those were the ones that were getting me views. Those were the ones that like people were coming in for and like talking to me about. But like when you burn out, it's very, very obvious that you're not into what you're doing. And when you're not into what you're doing, your chat's not into what you're doing.
Yeah.
So there's no point in forcing yourself.
I think there are a couple times I like sent you a message and I was like, please stop playing. Please stop playing this game.
Yep.
Nobody's
Dead
having
by
fun.
Daylight being one of them. Yes.
But yeah, you have to and that also comes with having a community that's willing to be like, stop.
Yeah.
For the love of all that is holy, just stop playing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's important to have people around you that are going to be like, no. 100% no. But burnout's a very serious thing. And and as much as I want to tell everybody to practice self-care, because like you can't, it's not just like we're talking about like games and work and stuff like that. You can burn out on literally anything. You can burn out on people. I know, because I know I've done that. I know I've burned out on people, but you can burn out on everything. And this is where like doctors will tell you like everything's good in moderation. That includes hobbies and your friends and all of that fun stuff. Those are everything is good in moderation, because if you give yourself too much of something, you will make yourself sick mentally and physically. So self-care is important, but the most important thing is to make sure you maintain your boundaries when it comes to people, and you take care of yourself in particular. So like, I don't care if all your friends are grinding it out on Destiny 2. If you're starting to hate the game, take a break. It's important. And like, what is going on? Like a hair fell or something. All of a sudden I'm itchy. I'm talking about burnout and I'm having an allergic reaction. But yeah, with anything, if you find that you're hating your friend that you're hanging out with, maybe you guys should take a break. You don't want to see your significant other's face in the morning. Just go do something else. Because that's another thing. I think a lot of people, when they say like they're out of the honeymoon period, I think it's just like you burn out. I think that's very much what it is. You're like,
yeah,
I've seen your face every day for like a year. Go away.
Yeah.
I still love you, but I want you to love you from another part of the house that I'm not in. I burn out on everything. I burn out on everybody.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Yeah.
So yeah. Whereas Vanri instantly burns out. She's like, nope, I've seen you for 5 minutes, go away. It's too long. It's already too long.
You are not wrong. Relatable.
So yeah, I mean, as good self-care is to take notice of stuff like that. I don't know that I even had any symptoms of burnout. I think in my head it just happened. But now I think thinking about it, I think it's like I was more stressed and I was getting more anxious, and I think I started having panic attacks doing specific tasks. And I think that looking at it trying to look at it objectively now, I think that was all because my brain was just like, you have to stop doing something. You have to stop something. But I didn't catch it in time. And then I was like, this is my bed and I'm going to stay here. And like, I felt really bad because I didn't even want to stream. And I love streaming. It is my favorite thing to do. Well, it is one of my favorite things to do. It's not my favorite thing to do. But I love streaming. It's one of my favorite. And I just like, okay, I can do this. And I didn't know, like, I felt like more aloof and more like, about it than anything. And that's terrible. Because people take breaks from streaming. No, fuck you. This is my break. Streaming is my break. It's my break from the day. This is my 4 hours away from my real life. My four hours where I'm not getting smacked in the face by a child.
Or screamed at.
Or screamed at. They're so loud. Everything surrounding a child is loud. Their toys are loud. Their shows are loud. Their music is loud. It's all loud. Just loud all the time. And for somebody who's loud, it's just, no. I'm too old. It's too loud. It's like, if it's too loud, you're too old. Well, I'm too old. Turn it down.
I've always been too old.
Yes.
Because everything is too loud all the time.
Yes. Actually, I talked about that today. We were talking about, I went to go see my friend Tim from last week who runs Comic Zen. And we had a conversation about age. And how, when we were at Drelicon, people were like, how long have you been playing Dungeons and Dragons? And I'm like, 23 years. Longer than some of you have been alive. And then there were people on my panel going, like, pointing to each other because they knew how old the other person was. And then we talked about how there are some people, like, I'm in that age range. Like, if you're talking to somebody who thinks they know everything, you're in your 20s. If you're bitter and you start hating life, you're in your 30s. If you're like, fuck it, you must be in your 40s. So, like, we were talking about, like, how, like, that's an appropriate kind of, like, message for, like, the different decades of your life. But how there is the confusion because there are people who can confirm. There are people who, like Vanri, act like they are in their 30s while still being in their 20s.
I've been in my 30s for 15 fucking years.
You hit 15 and you're like, I'm 32 now.
Exactly. 14 going on 32.
You're like, what? Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Can confirm. Everybody thinks that... There are a couple of people who think she's older than me.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody knows that I am the older one. But everybody does not know that you are 9 years younger than me. A lot of time we get people who think you are just a couple years younger than me.
Yeah.
So...
Well, I'm #grandpa friend.
Yes.
Like, in middle school, my friends called me mom. I've always been an old person.
And there's nothing wrong with that. That's why I'm still like a drink all night kind of party person, because somebody has to make up for your 20s.
Well, maybe part of my burnout is my body going, we're too old for this shit. And then I'm screaming back at it, I'm 29!
Crymson is by the book grizzled veteran. Vanri is the loose cannon rookie who doesn't play by the rules. Actually, it's the other way around.
It's absolutely the other way around.
Other way around. Vanri is the by the book grizzled veteran, and Crymson is the loose cannon rookie who doesn't play by the rules. Which is why everybody's super fucking confused.
Yeah.
By the two of us. Because it doesn't make any sense. Alright, Jon Snow. JT, you didn't hit your 20s either. You went straight into your 30s. You were one of those. The two of you would make one hell of a buddy cop movie. We would.
Yes, absolutely.
Except for she would never be like, no, Crymson, we can't. It's against the rules. She'd be like, I'm not fucking looking. Go ahead.
Yeah.
You gonna shoot him in the kneecap?
It took 6 years for us to get to that point, though.
Yeah,
like,
you had to go through some shit.
Yeah. When we first met, I was just like, no, we can't do that.
You had to have your own spin-off movie on your own, and you came back a little traumatized, and you're like, "Fuck it, shoot him in the kneecaps. I don't give a shit." Which I say because, as I said to you several times, it took that, like, I'm gonna say edge off, but it did. It took kind of an edge off of you, where everything had to be perfect, and now life isn't perfect anymore, which is good. Mm-hmm. I just hate the way that it happened.
Yeah.
Should have happened literally any fucking way. You should have been ushered into your 30s, not fucking picked up and thrown through a plate glass window into your 30s.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we would make a great buddy cop movie. Except for a lot of rules would be broken, and there would be a lot of, well, I didn't see it happen. You were standing right there, but I was looking over there.
I can neither confirm nor deny that Crymson did the thing.
You were right there. That doesn't mean I was paying attention. And there are a lot of times I've said that it has been like, I'm going to do this, and she goes, well, I didn't see shit, so it's fine. Literal words that have come out of our mouths.
Mm-hmm.
Rules are made to be broken. Rules are for the stupid. What are my I can't believe it's still a live plant. But yeah, burnout's a bitch. I don't want to do that again. It's gonna happen again, though. I know it is, because I overwork myself. And that's fine. Safety lights are for dudes. Actually, the phrase "there are no safety words" came out of my mouth this weekend.
Yep, it did. There's no safe word anymore.
There's no safe word anymore. I was talking about being 40. And I was like, my 40. There's no safe word anymore. Once I hit my 40s, fuck it. Running straight into my 40s and not holding back.
Yep, I tweeted it. I put it in the Discord. There's no safe word anymore.
I don't feel like I'm gonna be 40. Whatever is not a safe word. No, it's not. Whatever is the opposite of a safe word. Yeah, I don't feel like I'm gonna be 40. Overworking myself, I feel like I'm gonna be 40. Mm-hmm. Like, fuck this shit. But right, we were talking about burnout.
Right.
All things are related to burnout.
Yes.
You and I can't keep on topic for shit. So
no.
That's fine.
Well, that's why I'm a fill-in and not an actual guest.
You're not allowed to be an actual guest because nothing would ever get done.
No.
4 hours later, remember that time? What are you guys talking about?
It ain't burnout anymore.
Nope. So, you know what? Besides, like, boundaries and stuff, I can't even say that there's self-care for burnout. Like, you can go through your typical self-care routines, like, that I do, and it still happened. So, yeah, burnout self-care is something completely different.
Yeah, the only thing that can really prevent burnout is making sure that you create a balance, like a work-life balance. And I know, like, everybody's always like, oh, millennials, work-life balance, they need that work-life balance. No, everybody does. Because, like, you're gonna eventually start resenting everything if you just keep pushing yourself and you don't, like, take the time to actually enjoy your life. Because the thing is, we're not put on this earth to work. We're not. We're put on this earth to fucking live. So if you don't do what you love and you keep just working yourself to death,
then you'll have the baby boomers.
Yeah, basically. You'll fucking burn your shit out. Like,
and then take all of it out on a completely separate generation.
Yep. In my day, we didn't have work-life balance. Well, you fucking should have.
Yo, I
You
wouldn't be
fucked everything up.
I wouldn't be so fucked if maybe you had, stopped working every once in a while and sniffed the goddamn roses your wife has been planting for 30 years. Asshole.
Damn kids with your avocado toast.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yep.
And it's extremely important because I can definitely see a lot. I could see in my 2 days that I suffered the most, I could see so much resentment for just everything around me. And it had nothing to do with my burnout. Like, I just resented everything. My brain hated everything. And on our Sunday campaign, our Sunday TTRPG Malhaven, Kim's character, Amber, occasionally goes through essence withdrawal. She uses too much of her essence to help us, and it hurts her. And she becomes withdrawn and depressed, and she hates everything. And I was like, it's burnout. It's like, that's exactly what I was feeling. That is what I felt. I fucking hated everything. But didn't have, like, concrete, like, I hate everything because, which is depression.
Mm-hmm.
I just hated and resented everything and everyone around me, which is terrible. And I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I wanted everybody to just leave me alone and go away and not ask anything of me. So, and for me, those are all terrible feelings because I love people and I love my family and I love it when they come talk to me most of the time. And I love helping people, and I love interacting, and all of these things are things that I love. They make me, are these things, and I wanted none of it. I wanted absolutely none of it, which is how I knew something was wrong. It's like taking the Crymson out of Crymson. Yeah. Yeah, 40-year-old alcoholism, basically. Thankless career and alcoholism. But as I said, that's how at first, again, I thought I was sick. I was exhausted and I had no idea why. And I have insomnia, and I was like, this is a new exhausted. This isn't my typical exhaustion. This is a new type of exhaustion. So I had the exhaustion, and I had, as Vanri said earlier, I had everything that felt like depression, but more. Not quite depression, but something more than that, which was terrible. And I would like to never go there again, but I know me. I'm gonna overwork myself to the point where I get burned out again. As long as I try not to plan. Well, we also know now I can't plan 2 large things in the same month. Mm-mm. So, if something is happening, like if we do Drawlicon, well, I think I'm probably a little less stressed if we do Drawlicon again next year because I've already done it the once. But no new things in a month where I already have something big to do, which is You're Not Alone. So charity months are kind of off limits to extra things that are brand new to me. Orange juice. And a real woman gaming glass. You can't see. Oh, you can kind of see.
You can sort of see.
I will show you again when I am finished. You can get
I have a Fable 3 glass.
Nice. I was trying to figure out what that was.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Focus. There we go. A little bit focused.
Pepsi in a Coca-Cola glass. I don't give a damn. I've done it. Actually, I don't drink Pepsi, but I drink other sodas that are also cola. I don't know. But are there things that you guys get burned out about? Or have you never experienced burnout? Because that's wonderful, and I hope you never do.
Yeah.
It's just terrible. But I can see how people, especially with unfortunately, the culture that we have today, not even, the economy that we have today, where people are working 2-3 jobs to make ends meet, everybody's fucking burned out. They'd have to be at this point. I can see it. I can see it in Vel, which is why I was so happy when he went on his vacation. Even though he got bugged when he came back. For a little bit, he was, he felt like a bit better, but the oppressive weight of bills came down. Mm-hmm. Or do you guys have like the ultimate cure for burnout? I'm also interested in seeing how other people deal with burnout, because not everybody deals with everything the same. So it's nice to see how other people deal with things, because it's one of those like, oh, that never occurred to me before. I could totally sleep to this music. So, and another thing I'm going to do, a couple things I'm going to do, renewed by a weekend away. I'm going to try and stop saying I can't do that right now, less. I'm going to try and remove not right now from my vocabulary. Especially in concerns to Lily. I am never too busy to pay attention to my daughter. And I need to remember that. I need to remember that greatly. But I get hyper-focused into things, and I don't want to stop what I'm doing, but I need to do that. Also, to help with the hyper-focus, I'm actually going to try some ADHD medication, which is going to be super fun. I end up getting burned out in academia, which was followed by me desperately trying to deny I was burned out, which led to me making bad choices, which led to me not being in academia anymore. Oh no. I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. Like teaching or studenting? Learning. That word is learning, Crymson. The word you were looking for, learning. Even though when you're teaching, you're still learning. But that's what it comes down. Both, actually? That makes sense. I can understand that.
So one of the resources on burnout that I found, and this is through helpguide.org, some of the treatments like to deal with burnout include like reaching out to those closest to you and being more sociable, limiting your contact with negative people, because the kind of people who like constantly complain, like they make it worse. They can make it so much worse, because then that's in your head too, because then now that's a negative thing that's just adding to your stress, which is adding to your burnout. So reframe the way you look at your work. Like try to find value in your work. Find balance in your life. Make friends at work if it's a work thing. Take time off if you need to. Set boundaries, which we've already said several times. Nourish your creative side, which is what I've been trying to work on lately. Set aside relaxation time and get plenty of sleep, and make exercising a priority. Oh, and eat healthy. All of those things are used to prevent and treat burnout.
Plus, there was some fraught stuff going on in my personal life at the time, which also contributed to my mental issues. Yeah. It's kind of like when one thing falls apart, everything falls apart. If you push too hard, especially if you continue to push, you have that crumble effect. You're up there and you're doing well and everything's good, and then you push yourself too hard and everything comes out from underneath of you. So that's why everything that Vanri listed are great building blocks. I'm stuck on exercise right now. I am eating better. I'm drinking a ton of water. I'm trying to sleep better. Me and sleep have always had a weird relationship. But But I've noticed and I complained about how much my back hurts, but I know that I'm the reason my back hurts because I stopped doing my physical therapy exercises and my back has digressed back to the state it was when I started needing physical therapy. So the motivation to do my physical therapy is tough. But that's why also, like, I suggest practicing the one new thing for 30 days. So, okay, people say 2 weeks. You need to do something every day 2 weeks to make it a habit. But those of us with ADD and memory issues, I give it 30 days. Do something new for 30 days straight. And once it becomes part of your routine. So try 12 new things a year is what I'm trying to get out there. 12 changes a year. So, I know that doesn't seem like a lot, but if you try to change too much at once, your brain goes, no, too much. That's why in, like, nutrition and stuff like that, they say eliminate one thing at a time. Change one thing at a time. And once you change that one thing, like, the first thing I did was I stopped drinking soda. I started drinking water. I changed to drinking water. Not that I was drinking a ton of soda, but I hated drinking water. So I pushed to drinking water. So coffee to water. And then that's it. Occasionally have some wine, depending on how bad my day's been. And then...
Or if it's the 5th Saturday.
Or if it's the 5th Saturday. Or if it's a real women of gaming time to drink.
Yes.
Then just to remember to drink more water. So that was the first change. And then it was eating healthy, being more aware of what I was eating. So, like, that's when I switched to, like, I would stop eating sugary shit in the morning. Now I eat bran cereal for breakfast. This is how I know I'm an adult. I eat unsugared bran cereal for breakfast every morning, and I like it. I actually like it. So, but you also have to pay attention to your body, because my first goal was to reduce my sugar intake, which has caused me temporary hypoglycemia. Because fuck me, that's why.
Well, because you consumed so much sugar before, and then you just cut your body off from this substance that it is addicted to.
Look, nobody asked.
And now you have to eat every 2 hours.
Nobody asked your opinion, okay? Actually, it reminds me. I want to look at this shit.
Oh, it's got a lot of sugar in it.
So much fucking sugar!
Yep.
I'm not eating this stuff. I've finished what I have. I'm not eating this anymore. Fun with biochemistry, seriously. So yeah, I'm cutting myself off from sugar because sugar is an addictive substance that helps create obesity. It's like the leading cause of obesity in America. Sugar. Even though everybody thinks it's fat, but that's because they fudged the studies. According to Adam Ruins Everything. Which I'm down for. But I am obsessed with sugar. I am the sweets and she is the savory. So I will knock somebody over for a dessert.
Yep.
But not potato chips. Potatoes, yes. Not potato chips.
Yeah. For my problem, so carbs break down into sugar in your system, right? So it doesn't matter if you're eating a sugary thing, if you're eating something that's very high in simple carbohydrates, it turns into sugar in your body, and it has a very similar type of reaction, I guess. So my problem is carbs. So bread, pasta, like simple carbs. I love complex carbs too, but I need to limit those as well. Complex carbs are the natural carbs, like potatoes and corn and peas and lima beans and all those things that I fucking love.
Beautiful, beautiful things.
Yep. So I have to cut back on all of it because yay, pre-diabetes.
In fairness, everyone craves sugar because every cell in your body runs on glucose. Yes, but there are better
Glucose,
ways.
not sucralose.
There are different ways I can be getting that, like, fruit.
Yes.
Not chocolate. Not delicious $5 mousse desserts that I will binge on when I'm really depressed, or mochi that is cheap and delicious.
Mm.
And it's basically white rice and sugar.
Yep.
Two terrible things for you in one delicious ball. So I don't even know. We were talking about taking care of yourself and the building blocks of making sure that, and these building blocks are good for, and it's not just burnout. These are good building blocks in general, because when you eat right and you exercise and you drink water and stuff like that. This is my pet peeve. Don't drink too much water. There is such a thing as drinking too much water. Don't chug gallons of water a day. Figure out what your water levels are. I think at least 64 ounces of water a day to start.
I think that's what the nutritionist said, yes. I have to drink 100 ounces of water a day.
So 60 to 100 ounces, but don't you see the people walking around gallon jugs of water. And unless you are sweating a gallon of water a day, just talk to a nutritionist or your doctor about how much water you should be drinking in a day, because you can die of overhydration.
A gallon of water I don't think is 64 ounces. Let me just double check.
Get off of it.
Never mind. 1 gallon of water is 128 ounces. So you need to drink less than 1 gallon of water a day.
Yeah.
To be hydrated.
So yeah, I mean, we know about overhydration. Again, and Adam ruins everything. One doctor talks about because it's a selling point. Bottled water is a selling point. What carry your own water bottles is a selling point. Is a marketing and is a capitalism thing. But drinking water for us is good, and my whole thing was to replace sugary drinks with water, or non-sugar drinks, or naturally sugared drinks, stuff like that. That's what I was going for. However, she did talk about how since they've started marketing water, the amount of dehydrated people who came into the emergency room compared to the overhydrated people who came into the emergency room was huge. Meaning, very few people go to the emergency room because they are dehydrated. However, there are a lot of people coming to the emergency room because they were suddenly overhydrated, and you can die from overhydration. There was a contest of how much water you could drink, and the woman who was going to win died because she drank too much water.
She drank 6 gallons of water.
In a day.
Specifically. In one sitting.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
She literally drowned herself.
So please talk to your healthcare professionals in some shape, or form before you start drinking over 60 to 100 ounces of water a day.
Don't drink 100 gallons of water a day. Don't do that.
Don't even drink a gallon of water a day without talking to somebody first. I mean, everything we say, we will back with, please talk with your healthcare professional. Your PCP, your mental health provider, whatever it is, talk to somebody. Train people who went to school. They spent hundreds of thousands of dollars to tell you what to do, so go listen to them. Not all of them. You can fire your doctor, but please go listen to somebody. But yeah, no, building blocks for good. It's not going to solve mental health. That's not how that works. typically
But
mental.
at least it gives you a fighting chance.
Yes.
If you take care of yourself.
If you take care of yourself, you can actually maybe like hold your shit together long enough to find that therapist
Yeah.
you so desperately need. But like we have to understand that mental illness is a chemistry thing as well. I mean, my brain is wired differently. I overproduce some chemicals. I don't produce enough chemicals. It's chemistry. Everything is chemistry. Including anxiety and depression. It's chemistry. Diabetes is chemistry. That's why we have doctors. We pay money to go see them. But so I'm not saying like these building blocks are going to solve your mental health issues. However, they will help. At the height of my year last year, when I was actively drinking a lot of water, actively eating better, actively exercising, I could pop out of bed and I slept better. When I woke up in the morning, I was like, all right, time to drink my water, and then I'll go have my coffee. And I can't do that now because I'm not taking care of myself. But it was amazing how like upbeat and like, all right, let's go. I had energy. I had wanted to get out of bed. I wanted to go to physical therapy. I wanted to go exercise. These are things I wanted to do. I needed to do them. And I was happy to do them because I was taking care of everything else. So, and I was in somewhat of a good place, mental health wise. Mentally, I'm doing better this year than I was last year. But a year of therapy will do a lot for you. A year of therapy and a lot of medication. Oh, did I leave my medication downstairs? Shit, I left my medication downstairs. Speaking of medication. Oh, wait. Ha-ha! I found some. I found some medication, y'all. I used to use this to make sure I took all my medication, and now I don't. Now it's just an occasional pill holder for when I remember. Anyway. So yes, and then our needs have expanded. Scientifically, emotionally, psychology, I don't know. We used to think that our needs used to be like food, clothing, housing, stuff like that. Those were our needs, but they've expanded. They've expanded the list of needs, and creativity is one of them. Fun is a need. It is an emotional, mental need. You need to do things that are fun. You need to do things that are creative. I know it's shocking. Have fun. I yell at people for not being creative and not having fun. Vanri. I love you. Shut up, you love me. But these are needs that we're not meeting. What are the new needs? I'm going to look it up. I might be wrong, but I'm going to look it up. What are the new basic needs? Google!
You want to look for the hierarchy of needs.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hierarchy is another one of those things that is not spelled how it sounds.
Hierarchy.
Google knew what I was asking for. Google knows. Or Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Wait, is Maslow the new one or the old one?
Maslow's
Okay, so the ones we talked about were the basic needs. Mm-hmm. Okay, the ones that we're most common with like food, water, warmth, rest, security, and safety. Okay, so those are your basic human needs. Okay, but then it extends into the psychological needs, which is intimate relationships and friends, belongingness and love, and then esteem needs, which is prestige and the feeling of accomplishment, and then self-fulfillment needs, achieving one's full potential, including creative activities. So our needs have grown. Like what we need as a human being isn't what we thought it was. It's much more involved than that. Like I feel like we keep thinking of ourselves as like cavemen who like we need these few basic things. No, we've expanded. We've got museums that are filled with art, and we have photography. We have songs, we have music. We have so much more that we need in our life. We have people that talk to us. We don't just grunt at each other. I mean, sometimes we still grunt at each other. But, like, people that we talk to, we need to have these relationships with people. We need things. We need much more than the basic needs in life. Maslow is the old one? God damn it, Paul. Wait, what if I type new? Hold on. What if I type new? I'm going to type the word new. New. Okay, somebody took a picture of Maslow's hierarchy of needs and added Wi-Fi and battery life. Oh, all right.
Wow. Hashtag first world problem.
Hashtag relatable. Okay, this one has this is added transcendence. It's a new word. I made it up. I don't see anything new. Somebody says the new hierarchy of needs. Wait, where is it? Do you say anything different? I don't care about their countries. Taken out of context, it sounds terrible.
The old hierarchy of needs were the ones that you listed at
That's what I thought.
First. Like
the security and physical.
Yeah. So I think what you were looking at was what you were looking for.
The social ego and self-actualization are the ones that we have added in because we are human beings. But yeah, we've realized that we need more in our lives. I mean, and one of the perfect examples of that is that once I started doing real women gaming, and like once I stay at home mom, take care of Lily, you know, try to teach her something meaningful, and then we started doing the charity events and stuff like that, I thought to myself, like, I can't go backwards now. I can't not do this because I have found something that is fulfilling, and that is helping other people. And it's helping other people in any way that I possibly can. Is all I've ever wanted in my life. I've wanted to help other people. So now that I found an outlet in which I can help other people, I cannot go backwards. I can't go back to just working a 9-to-5 job. I can't just go back to like being a full-time employee. I need to do something. And we've sat down and we talked about many different situations in which I could still help people and make money. Guess what? They're really hard unless you have some degrees and shit. But because nobody really needs an event planner for charities, which is fucking stupid. Everybody needs a charity event planner. Everybody needs somebody that panics, gets shit done. I basically it's my cosplay crunch charity events. So I can't go back. I found my where'd you go? That self-actualization, need for development, and creativity. No, there's another one I was looking at that was better, but it's. Oh, that's a very detailed picture. That is... This one has like 11 needs. That is crazy. Oh wait, that one has more. Now just show me the picture. See, this is the problem with the internet. Everybody has an opinion. And you don't know whose opinion is right. So yeah, I found one that like people like the basic needs and everything like that. This one goes into energy, freedom, belongingness, effectiveness, community, uniqueness, diversity, creative leadership, universal power, universal peace, personal power, and personal peace. The transcendent needs, success needs, or intellectual needs, survival, physical and emotional needs, and then transcendental needs. And it's not wrong. I feel like we need all of these different things. But it's a lot to look at. It's a little overwhelming to look at. I'm like, you could have said the same thing, just a little less. A little less on the words. But yeah, so I found like a purpose almost in helping other people. So I can't go backwards in that. I can't find something that I love doing that I'm very emotionally attached to and then not do it anymore. So this is just the rest of my life. Helping people. What a terrible way to live. No, and I think that's great. I think everybody should, and I think that's one of the reasons my husband is much happier in the job he's in now, is because not only is he doing things that are good for the environment, helping to make sure that there's less food waste in the country, which we're huge for, by making like his company make sure that, you know, if like an entire crop of cabbage wasn't sold, it was going to get tilled back into the ground. They swooped in, they're like, we'll buy that. Don't do that. We will buy that and we will get it to people, we promise. Just don't destroy the food. And then they also help food banks and they help shelters and stuff like that. So there is that need that meets his need for helping people and doing something that's greater than himself. But he also gets paid, which is wonderful, because then he can support his family and, you know, pay for all those wonderful things. We need like, you know, a roof, gas in the car, food. Food is very important for survival. Oh god, a lot of stuff happened. Okay.
Literally one thing happened.
But I heard 2 chimes and then, but yes, you can support me on Patreon so I can have a podcast, which is just this as a podcast. But yeah, so it's fulfilling needs like that, I think also really helps. That's why I like people do volunteer work. Volunteering at a shelter, volunteering for your local community, go clean something up. These things will even help you get that need to do something bigger than yourself. Just clean up a road and you'll feel better. Not for the roads, screw the drivers. It's just the environment looks better. And, you know, last thing I heard, trees don't do so well with styrofoam. It doesn't break down right and stuff like that. So,
doesn't break down at all.
No, it doesn't. We will have the same McDonald's containers until, you know, 2580.
Yep.
From 1980 to 2580. And then if you burn it, it releases toxic shit into the ecosystem. So, yay! Anyway, there's your environmental corner. But, I mean, do you agree on the doing something bigger than yourself?
I think that goes into the thing that I found to find meaning in your work. I think that's basically the same thing, finding a reason to do it.
Hashtag plant long grass prairie for carbon sequestration? No, I don't know that word.
Sequestration.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I was like, no, there's more letters I missed. The story of my life. Because. Wait, is that just a because, or is there a because coming?
Time to pick your medicine.
Shut up, Karen!
As we both sit here and just wait.
prairie grass has hella huge root structures. I feel like there's more to that. Which store up carbon out of the atmosphere like crazy. That makes sense. Well, I also saw something that said we could completely end our food issues if everybody cared about planting gardens at their house as much as they care about their lawns. And which don't pull all that carbon back into the air when they burn. Unlike trees, fucking trees. So cut down all the trees and plant prairie grass is what you're saying. As now we're just on environmental science. We can't talk about one subject ever.
No, we really can't.
So what were our building blocks again? Let's go through this one at a time.
Yeah. So reach out to the people closest to you.
So
like the people that you love.
Your support circle, your support system.
Yes. Yes. Your support system.
Which I am absolutely in love with having a support system. And I wouldn't be where I am today without my support system. I just look over the colory pear tree needs to fucking die. Some tree hatred going on in chat.
Right? Paul's like super intense about that.
I feel like there's a story about this pear tree that I'm missing. Support systems are extremely important.
Yes.
You can't
get passionate about things, okay?
Paul, you and I both get passionate about some really weird stuff, so I'm never going to judge you. I just feel like there's a story here I need to know. Like, did a colory pear tree, like blow over and, like, destroy your house and kill your whole family?
Because that's the vibe I'm getting.
You want to, in all caps, you want to hear about colory pear trees and why they suck? Yes, I do. This is all I can think about now, so yes, I do. So I often talk about why support systems are amazing, wonderful things, but maybe Vanri should talk about why support systems are amazing, wonderful things.
I mean, it's just, it's good to, whoa. Sorry, Discord made a lot of noise. Support systems are good because you don't have to deal with everything on your own. It's important, especially when burnout is involved, to be able to share that burden with other people. Like, it alleviates some of the stress on you, and like it can kind of like strengthen your relationship with the other people because you confided in them and in what like is bothering you or like what's burdening you. So like the people who love you are willing to help you, and it's really important to remember that. Like you can't just be like, oh no, I'm gonna bother them if I reach out to them about this. If they love you, they don't give a shit if you're burdening them or not. They want to help you. Like, it's sorry for talking about Steven in the middle of your explanation, Vanri.
A lot of weird things happen.
Yes.
But yes, no, that's 100%. Support is there, like, as Vanri could call me, not that she has to, but she could wake me up at 2 o'clock in the morning and be like, I'm having a bad time. And I'd be like, okay, I'm up.
Yeah.
I'll deal with sleep later. That's not important. 100% whatever she is going through is important. And that is the most important thing at that moment.
Yeah.
So find the people who will wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning for you because you're having a bad night. Find those people, surround yourself with those people, and then let them in on the stupid shit that happens in your brain or in your life, because I guarantee they will be able to help you with it in some way, shape, or form. Whether it's explaining how they would deal with the situation and just giving you a different perspective, asking you questions about it to help you think out a situation, pestering you until you go finally see a therapist 3 years later because it's good for you. So your support's there for a lot of things. Sometimes my husband just wants to vent about things. I'm a fix-it person. If you vent to me, I want to fix it. How can I help? What can I do? What have you tried this? That's the kind of person I am. That's how I like to help people. My husband just wants to vent. Sometimes he'll go, I just want to vent about something. Okay, I have been given my instruction. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to tell you how much whatever is happening is going to suck. Okay? Because that's what he wants. In the back of my brain, I'm still going, well, if we tried this, this, and this might fix the situation, but that's not what he's asking me for. So that's another thing. It's like, okay, if you're like me and you're a fix-it person, be like, when people start vent, do you want to vent or do you want me to fix it? You need to explain this to me, because if you don't, I automatically go into, I'm going to fix this mode. So feel free to be like, I need to bitch about something first, or I need to vent, because then I'll shut up and I'll just listen. I'll try and fix it anyway. I can't help it. That's just the kind of person I am. But, so anywhere from like, hey, I'm having trouble. I'm having nightmares. I'm having anxiety. I need to vent about something. Can you help me? Can you help me do a thing? Which is also frequent. Like, if you're having trouble doing something, like, hey, going to the doctor, take a friend with you. It's fine. The doctor may think you're weird, but who gives a shit what the doctor thinks? Okay? Nobody cares. All that matters is you're going through something as safely and calmly as possible. So that is what your support is there for. So find out who your support is. Also, support is great at weeding people out of your Christmas list. They're going to be assholes. You don't need to buy them anything for Christmas anymore. True story. Okay, you whittle that shit down until you only have 5 people. That's what I did. I buy presents for like max 6 people, 7 people, max. Most of the time I just buy stuff for my daughter. But I also decided I'm not going to put forth effort into relationships that bring nothing to the table. That's the kind of person I am. That's the kind of man I was. So yes, support. Find your support. Figure out who they are. Hold them close. You know, make them your best friends in the world, but rely on them. Because that's what we suck. I think that's what we suck as a people doing, is relying on other people. For the important shit. We'll rely on people for stupid shit and then get mad when they fail us. But like, we don't rely on people for like the important stuff. I feel like. It's like, okay, you didn't show up to this party I threw a couple weeks ago, but hey, you stayed up with me while I cried for 4 hours in the middle of the night, and that's what matters most. Sorry, that was a weird little rant to go on. So let's find about this pear tree. Number 1, they are weak as hell and lose branches or come down whenever there's a thunderstorm. We used to have 2 in our yard. They were both storm casualties within 2 years of us moving in. Number 2, in the spring when they bloom, their flowers smell like semen. Not good semen, old manky semen. And then, sorry about talking about semen. It's pretty fucking gross. And I can see why that causes you a lot of stress. If I walked outside once and I was like, what is that smell? And it was flowers from a tree, that tree's coming down. We're not smelling that anymore. Nope. Not at all. What is our second building block?
Limit your contact with negative people.
I went on a rant about this today.
Yeah. We go on rants about this a lot lately. Yeah. So,
hi, Far.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the greatest show on earth.
It is the greatest show on earth. It's going good. How are you? Okay, go cook dinner. We'll hate on trees later. I went on a rant on Twitter about families, and I went on a rant. I wanted to rant specifically because I saw something on Facebook. Night, Mr. Evelina.
Night, Mr. Evelina.
I saw something on Facebook for like the 80th time about how, I don't know if I can even find it, how you shouldn't like stop talking to family because you're gonna regret not talking to them anymore when you're at their funeral or some shit like that. You get the gist of it. I'm still gonna look for it because it's gonna bug me. And I went on a rant at my friend, and I did this because I don't agree at all. Nope, that's not how you spell her name. That's how you spell her name. Where is it? Unless she took it down. I'm very sad when family members stop speaking to each other. The day will come when you will regret it. That day is called the funeral. Are you looking right here? No, I won't. 100%. I'm not going to regret it. Because we have this notion that family is going to be there for you no matter what. And this is what I call the leave it to beaver notion. It is a notion that people came together when we started watching TV shows where the family was always there for each other. But that's not how that shit works, okay? Because they're still human beings. They are not infallible. They are not perfect. They are not heavenly. They are still people. And you know what? People can be shitty to each other. So we need to stop trying to tell people, especially people who, and this is where it really pisses me off, people who have mental illnesses, people who are in the LGBTQIA plus, any of that, okay? People with religious differences, if people have cut their family off, let me tell you something, it's none of your business. 1. 2, that's between them and their family. Okay? I've cut most of my family out of my life for a reason. For a really good reason. That reason's called PTSD. Okay? They can stay over here and I can stay here. And I've chosen my family. And I'm doing so much better for it. And my life is so much healthier for it. So we need to stop this notion that family is end all be all everything. And for some people it is, and that's wonderful. If you have a wonderful, loving, supportive, amazing family that's there for you and loves you unconditionally no matter what, that's amazing. But don't force that on other people. Okay? Do not force that on other people because not everybody feels the same. And we give people a negative impression. It's like, well, go talk to your family about it. Oh, well, I don't talk to my family. Why? I won't ask you why. It's none of my goddamn business, okay? Whatever's happening between you and your family, that's your business. You talk to the people who make you feel safe, loved, comfortable, who have your back. I don't care if they're related to you or not. That's your support, okay? Not your family. And if your family is toxic, if they create anxiety for you, if they create stress from you, they're just like anybody else. Just get rid of them. Just cut them out of your life. I mean, as much as you can, okay? If you still want to hang out with some of your family members, you're stuck seeing some assholes at family reunions or holiday gatherings, you know, boundaries. Do as best as you can in that given situation. But you, by far, do not have to keep people in your life that you don't want in your life. That includes your family. I haven't talked to my sister. I haven't willingly talked to my sister in... Okay, I said willingly, over 10 years. I have been forced to speak to her as far as 5 years ago, but not since then. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. Like, if she dies of something hurt, I would be 100% sad, but I don't like her. we don't get along together, so she can stay on her side of Pennsylvania and I'll stay on my side of Pennsylvania and we'll be good. That's the way it works. So, and the same thing goes with friends. If you have friends of friends that are toxic to you, that you don't agree with, don't hang out with them. Don't force yourself to be like, if Vanri had a friend that I just could not stand, like, hey, I'm going to go do the thing with the person. You want to come with us? No, have fun. Why? Because I don't like that person. But you know what? That doesn't mean that she can't be friends with them. They may have a great relationship. I just think they're an asshole. So don't force yourself into positions or relationships with toxic people either. Because they're everywhere. I'm sorry. I went on my rant. Do you want to say something? My passionate family can be trash rant and stop telling people otherwise.
Well, in relation to burnout, limiting your contact with negative people is good because, like, your mood is already, like, you know, kind of down in the dumps. Like, you're already not motivated. You're already thinking the worst of a lot of things, and you're already kind of resenting some things. And being around negative people, like somebody who complains a lot, or, you know, somebody who's just negative all the time, is going to worsen your burnout rather than help you to make it better. Hi, Nymeria.
Mommy, I love you. I
Stop with my face.
I 100%. And most of you guys know I have self-care when my mom comes over. My self-care, she usually comes over on Wednesdays because then I can stream, I can play something violent, all of that fun stuff. Limiting your contact with somebody. And if you do have to deal with somebody, self-care. Make sure that you have some self-care. Have a glass of wine if you can. Play a video game if that's your thing. Do something to negate that negativity. Breathe in the good air, out the bad air. All that stuff. No, I'm not going to burp again. I'm sorry. I'm very passionate. I'm very passionate about removing toxic people from your life because I have made some significant changes in the past couple of years that make me feel so much. It was changes, realizations, boundaries, and stuff like that, and I feel so much better for it. So I'm 100% like, cut people out of your life. Just do it. Just get a knife and just cut people out of your life. Just shank them out of your life if you must. But, you know, at the end of the day, you are the only person who's going to take care of you. So, remember that you're the most important thing. You're the most important person in your life. What is next on our list of building blocks? She was like, you will love me.
Connect with a cause or a community group that is personally meaningful to you. So it says joining a religious, social, or support group can give you a place to talk to like-minded people about how to deal with daily stress. And you make new friends. We literally went to Dralicon and both felt so much better afterwards.
Because we were in a group of like-minded people for an entire weekend.
Yep.
And it was wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
And I did a panel on mental health. Sorry. We did a panel on mental health, which it was very well received, but it was nice listening to what other people had to say about mental health. Other people that weren't us. Different perspectives.
Yep.
But when gaming, like we do, you can find those groups in different things. Like TTRPG is a group of people that you can hang out with and do fun things and learn stuff from. You can find a video game group. You can find a gaming group of like-minded people who want to help you progress and stuff like that, can help you deal with stress and everything like that. No, I don't want to take a walk right now. Leave me alone. damn it, Fitbit. So those are like we think of outside of like, I mean, did it say hobbies?
It said religious, social, or support, but hobbies I think are included in
social. Yeah. So like just expanding on that, like I don't join religious groups because anyway. And then there are help groups. There are support groups out there that are sometimes run by therapists, sometimes run by counselors and stuff like that can be very helpful. I mean, they're especially run for specific events and stuff like that in your life, grieving, infertility, suicide, depression, stuff like that. But some of us have to take from where we can get. So your Dungeons and Dragons group, your Destiny group, your Fortnite group, your whatever group, your Real Only Gaming group.
There was a fantastic article that I shared the other day about D&D as communal therapy. And of course shit's not going to load because you're streaming.
Nothing will load ever again. No, it's wonderful. I get a lot of shit out in D&D that I don't even realize. I can feel my heartbeat. That's weird.
There it is.
Do you remember the gist of said article?
It was a very long article. But I mean, it was a very long article. But I mean, like, it's a social way to get together with people and kind of, you know, work through your stuff without actually talking about your stuff. Like
me dealing with a fear of my friends, all my friends leaving me.
Mm-hmm.
Came out on stream. Didn't mean to. That was an accident. But yeah, you definitely can work through some shit. I mean, hell, you could even, if you feel very safe and confident with your DM, I don't see why you can't, like, amazing storytelling to me often, like, if you write a backstory, it includes that backstory. So an awesome DM could take these things, and if you've written something similar to your life, could take these things and then help you, like, you work through them. You, like, I have asshole parents. All right, DM says you have asshole parents, you know? And you might have to fight them later on. You might have to do something. You might have to make a choice between saving them and not saving them. Mm-hmm. So if you take your backstory, you throw a little bit of yourself into it, you can end up working things out. Now, of course, I would, if you have any intense emotions about things, I, of course, will tell you to talk to your therapist about this, or maybe find a therapist that can help you work through this as well.
One of the things that the article talks about is how there are actual, like, therapy practices that include D&D. They take volunteer DMs and they put them through a training course, and they certify them as like
counselors,
kind of therapeutic. Yeah, well, not specifically as counselors, but like they train them on how to, like, frame stories in certain ways or whatever. And it's considered a type of therapy to play D&D with these trained DMs.
Well, roleplay can sometimes be a huge part of therapy. So you're just taking it and you're adding another element to it where you can be a different version of you facing the same challenges and overcoming them, which for some people can be absolutely amazing. Give themselves, in situations they could give themselves the power over a potential attacker that they didn't have at the time. and help them relive it in a different way that would help them move past that situation or begin grieving that situation in a healthier way. That's amazing. I love that idea. I don't want to do that idea, but I love that idea for people that I work for.
Yeah.
I'm a let's not relive it kind of person.
Right.
But you do you. I mean, that sounds amazing. I wonder if there's a... Wouldn't it be cool if there is like a finder for it?
That would be.
Like, here are all the people who, here are all the places that do that. That would be cool. Actually, I just saw today on Twitter that they're working on or have made an app where you can swipe for D&D and TTRPG games.
Yes, actually, because they sponsor Suddenly Tabletop. Like Gamely app or something like that.
That's something to look into.
Yeah, I mean that's how I've seen it like 3 times over the last few days, and that's just because I followed Suddenly Tabletop everywhere. It's kind of like it's like a dating app, but for gaming friends, kind of thing.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Hang on, Far. Let me get that for you specifically. They just tweeted about it today. So give me 1 second. I'll get that for you. Fucking Wade. My biggest gripe with drinking water is that I can drink so much water.
Oh, speaking of which, Far, I know you don't have a ton of time, but we started working on like one-shot TTRPGs, getting them together on like a monthly basis in the Real Women Gaming Discord.
Did they not tweet it today?
No, I saw it.
Maybe they took it down. Oh wait, maybe it's in a tweets and replies. Sometimes that fucking can happen. Yes. Yeah, it's Gamely, Gamely. It's not on iOS. It's only Android right now.
Not to be confused with Gamely.com, which is something different.
Yeah.
Which is a mobile game live stream site. I only know that because I just looked it up. Anyway.
Yes.
So what is next on our list of?
The next thing is try to find some value in your work, which we've already talked about.
Did we? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Find balance in your life. Which is
huge.
Self-explanatory. Yeah. So, like, I mean, we talked about it a lot. Also, like, hobbies and you know, focusing on parts of life that bring you joy.
Mm-hmm.
Take time off.
That's something I don't do.
Yeah, something that you don't do, but is very important for me to be able to take time off. And actually, with streaming, I'm getting to a point again where I'm gonna need to kind of take a step back. Like I'm going down to just one. I'm gonna go down to just 1 day a week, and it's gonna be Sundays. On the Sundays I can do it. So.
Which is fun.
Yeah.
You have some other things, other hobbies you want to explore, other things that you want to be passionate about. You're still in a searching section, whereas, and this is funny. This has been brought up to me very often. I am passionate about so many things. I ooze passion, and I often forget that not everybody is like that. Actually, very few people are like that, where they're just passionate about as many things as they possibly can be. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So not everybody is extremely passionate. So taking that time, taking those breaks to find things that you're passionate about, to explore new hobbies, explore new groups of people, explore new friends and stuff like that, super, super important. So you may find something that you're more passionate about than you were about something else. Like, and I'm not saying it's going to happen. Just for example, Vanri may realize that she's way more passionate about podcasting than she ever was about streaming. And I'm not
right
saying
now it's feeling like that a little bit.
But you also get excited about something, and then you start doing something, and then we see how it is.
Yeah, absolutely. So like, we met so many amazing podcasters this last weekend, and it really renewed my excitement for the idea of podcasting. And so like, I'm kind of jumping headfirst into like sound editing or TTRPG shows and things like that to try to get them ready for possible podcasts. And like right now it's like hella exciting because I get to listen to the game again, and now I'm catching things that I fucking missed the day of, and like I'm like, oh, how can I tie this back into my character? Things like that. So it's really fun right now.
But in a month you might hate it.
Exactly. And that's why you try things out. That's why you take a break to try things out.
Mm-hmm.
But like the burnout with streaming has happened a few times now, and I think it's
not a bad idea to take a break and explore new options.
Yes, exactly.
Whereas I don't think I'm going to get burned out on streaming, specifically because streaming is my break.
Yeah.
But these are my scheduled breaks.
About it, you have a goal.
Yes, I have a goal. My goal is to help as many people as I possibly can.
Yeah. I don't have a goal of streaming. There's no point for me to stream, to be honest, besides having fun.
Well, that becomes... I guess that's when you market between, like, the differences between hobbies and...
Mm-hmm.
And another word. It could be any word. Occupation, or... I mean, they're definitely job or career or something like that. There's like a million different things. Like, so that's why for some people streaming is a hobby, and for other people it is much more than that, because I feel it's the best way for me to reach as many people as possible to tell them to love themselves. This includes me. Every time I tell you guys, I am also telling myself. So it's not like I'm preaching at you to do something that I have mastered. It's not hard. It's not easy. It's very hard to do. But as I said, it's great to take breaks from things, to try something new, to try something different. I mean, going to Drawlicon, it was a completely new and different experience. It's the first time we were a guest. It was the first time we were, on panels, creating panels and stuff like that. So,
and it paid off in dividends.
Yes, it paid off immensely. We made new friends, we made new connections, we networked, we got charity donation. We have so many charity donations. We got sponsorships from it. There's so much that happened that was wonderful. That if we hadn't taken that leap, we would never have known. So, try new things. Try new things is great. But yeah, like, if you're interested in Dungeons and Dragons, explore it. If you're interested in TTRPGs but Dungeons and Dragons isn't your thing, explore it. Explore those curiosity. Explore those things that you're interested in, because you may never know what that's going to turn into. That could turn into you becoming trying to become a career streamer, and you could help write the next module for D&D. It happens. They constantly if you're interested in it, they put out calls for writers and stuff like that. And sometimes they don't even have, I think they have artists that they commission, they have writers that they commission, so they're not on staff, but they'll pick people up and they will get paid to do the things. I'm not exactly sure how they get paid to do the things. That's not my area of expertise. But I'm just saying, pursue that passion. Are you interested in trying to write a book? Write some short stories. See how they're taken. See where that goes, you know? Do you like interviewing people? You like talking to people? There's so many ways you can take these things. Just give it a try. Just try it once. Find somebody interesting to interview. Find somebody that you're interested in and interview them. There are a lot of ways that you can follow passions in your life, but if you don't take that initial leap, if you don't try, you're never going to know. Yay! That is my TED Talk on being passionate. No, I'm just kidding. What is next on our list of things?
Set boundaries, which we talk about fucking
all
constantly.
The time. All the time.
Yes. So the next one after that is nourish your creative side.
Hold on, I'm gonna ask does anybody want us to talk on boundaries in case there is somebody who has never heard us talk about boundaries before?
True.
Because we will 100% go on a rant about boundaries.
We will.
Actually,
we've done it a million times before.
We're gonna take a break. I'm gonna let you guys answer. If you guys want us to talk about boundaries, we are happy to. Just let us know in chat. We're gonna get up and pee, and we'll be back in just a minute. And we're back. Okay, so nobody said anything about boundaries, so we will move on to the next thing.
Nourish your creative side.
That's a big one. I think that's one that people ignore almost specifically, it feels.
Yeah. Well, what this says here is creativity is a powerful antidote to burnout. Try something new, start a fun project, or resume a favorite hobby. Choose activities that have nothing to do with work or whatever is causing your stress.
I don't have an activity that has nothing to do with work.
No, you do not. Unless it's coloring.
Ooh, coloring is fun.
Yes. I did, we do have those Edgar Allan Poe books.
That we have no time to color.
I mean, we have time to. We just usually choose to watch YouTube instead.
Yeah. If we could color and watch YouTube at the same time, that would be a miracle.
I mean, we could.
I think what I might have to do is I might also have to order the exact same one for Lily. So when she's there and she's like, I want to color too. Here you go. Mm-hmm. You heard coitus.
No one said coitus.
I would never say coitus unless prompted to say coitus.
Yeah.
But that's not, the Crymson wants to talk to you about sex TED Talk is not tonight.
No, it is on the 5th Saturday, which happens once every 3 months.
I actually need to do one of these specifically about sexual health and well-being.
Yeah, true.
I might actually just do that as a YouTube video. I think that would be a terrible thing to try and stream. That might just be a YouTube video. No, so creativity is so unbelievably important. Actually, my therapist has an app that yells at her every day to be creative, to do something creative, whether it's just a coloring thing on her phone or actually sitting down and doing something creative every single day helps your brain so immensely. Hold on. I'm sure there's a thing about it.
Well, I mean, I set up a thing with Avenue. She's gonna teach me how to art.
Ooh.
So we're gonna try to make it a monthly thing where I go over there and we.
As long as you remember that you don't have to.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to if you don't want to or you're not enjoying it.
Yeah.
Alright. Hold on, there's a thing.
Yeah, because that's definitely, while you're looking that up, that's definitely one thing for me that leads to burnout is the idea that I have to do something, that I don't have the freedom to, like, not do a thing. That can lead me to burnout really, really quickly. So...
Yeah, whenever you agree to do something, you have it set in your brain that you absolutely 100% have to do it, even though we have told you that's not how that works.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't have to play D&D. You don't have to stream. You don't have to do anything except for go to work.
Right.
Because we need you to pay rent. That's all you have to do. Besides that, everything else is optional.
Yeah. Very true. And, like, I'm thinking about going back to, like, trying to find, like a full-time... Like, the idea of going back to, like, a full-time kind of corporate job is appealing because they pay better than retail.
Mm-hmm.
But,
it comes with a negative.
It really, really does. It's 40 hours a week doing something mind-numbing is, like, super difficult.
Do you have freedom and less stress and be poor, or do you stress out and have money?
Right. Right.
That's what it comes down to.
Yep. But I mean, honestly, like, I could do part-time if, I just made more money per hour. And then I'd be fine.
Wouldn't that be wonderful?
Wouldn't it?
Alright, hold on. There's a lot of words here, and my brain aren't capturing all of them.
Okay.
Actually, I don't know why I'm trying to read this. Nothing is happening.
Link it in chat and I'll look at it.
I don't know that that's exactly what I was looking for.
Oh, okay.
Here, you know what? I'm just gonna link it in chat, and you tell me. I just linked it in Mixer. Could you not hand right now? That would be great. But basically what I was trying to look up is when you're being creative, your brain goes through a different series of processes. So it's like different parts of your brain light up. That seems fairly obvious. I have the words I'm trying to think of, but they're not coming out, which is why I was trying to look at one of the smart people articles to tell you what my brain thinks.
So, the default mode of your brain is the idle state, which is kind of like a resting state. Like, you're not really using much of your brain to get through, like, mundane, daily, whatever activities. When you're creative, though, it takes the default mode, the executive control mode, and the salience mode, and makes all three of those work together.
Which is amazing.
Yes.
And if I'm not mistaken, executive function is the higher thinking part of your brain. The third part you mentioned, I don't understand. I don't know.
It doesn't explain what salience.
Google. What is the
salience network?
What is the salience network in your brain?
I think it's like the internal?
Large-scale brain network of the human brain that is primarily composed of the AI and the DACC.
That didn't help me.
Okay, the arterial insula. So, okay. Each hemisphere of the brain and the insular cortex is a portion of the cerebral cortex folded deep within. Okay. So different sections of your brain. So the salience network basically connects the different parts of your brain.
Yeah. So being creative literally forces
your brain to light up.
The different parts of your brain to work together, whereas other tasks might not.
Good.
Yeah. So it's like one of those things, like people, the brain's a muscle. If you don't use it, it won't get stronger. A lot of people like to use that for, continual education and things like that, which is important.
Ooh.
But being creative works your brain out a lot more than just purely intellectual.
So what this says is that this is the detection and integration of emotional and sensory stimuli.
Okay.
That's what
so
that
it is the internal. Yeah.
And that's a very dumb way of saying what some smart people said. So, yes. So it stimulates parts of your brain. And again, and as she said, your brain is a muscle that needs to be worked. So is your creativity. It needs to be worked. It needs to be challenged. And when those of us do creative things, it's awesome to randomly create. I don't know about you all at home, you peoples, but sometimes some of my best ideas will come from creating something else. So I will work on something, and then the back of my brain is processing something else while I'm working on something. I'm making something, I'm designing something, I'm making a video, I'm editing a video, I'm creating, intro, outros, whatever. While that's working, sometimes I come up with amazing ideas. Now, the problem is because I have ADHD, so then I have to implement that idea right then and there, stopping everything I am doing to go do this, go do something else. But it really helps me think. Because you know how they say, like, if you're stuck on something, go do something else? That's how that works. If you're stuck on something, go do something else, activate that creative part of your brain, and then everything else lights up, and maybe you can work some shit out.
Oh yeah, and as a writer specifically, pulling from my own experience, if you're, so I'm working on a novel right now, and if I get stuck on a specific scene, or if I get stuck on something specific in my writing or in my novel, I will go and work on another part of that novel or another part of that universe, because I'm also I want to also release a book of short stories that takes place in the same universe that my novel does. So I'll just go work on one of those instead. I'll be like, okay, well, I can't think of what's happening with this character right now, so I'm gonna switch gears and look at this character instead, and what are they doing at this moment, something like that.
Exactly. Oh, this isn't a shirt, sweetie. This is a dress. I can't show you the whole thing, but it's a tapered dress, and it's got the same, lace at the bottom of it. And it's my second favorite dress.
Is your first favorite your booby dress?
My booby dress is, of course, my first favorite.
Yeah.
This is I realized today, I love it more than, thank you. I realized today that it's from Torrid. You can buy everything on Torrid. Everything I wear you can buy on Torrid, I promise you. I also realized this is a very nice dress that I could wear to a, more fanciful event. Mm-hmm. And I will be comfortable and look nice. But thank you so much. I spend a lot of money on my look. You can see my credit card statement to prove that. By the way, you can support me on Patreon. Anyway, so creativity really is the thing. So, thanks. Creativity is an amazing thing. We got the, feed my addiction. No, pay off my credit card so I can get it down to a reasonable level and then eventually buy more things. I also use it for presents. So, when
she bought my birthday present from Torrid.
This year and last year.
Mm-hmm.
I bought Eugene's last year.
Yeah, I needed them.
Yes. So I use them for, if I can't afford to buy Vanri or something, I charge it on my credit card.
I'm wearing one of those pairs of jeans right now.
As you should be.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I highly recommend, shoes are definitely a weakness of mine. Anything with straps and shoes and yeah. So I highly recommend try coloring, try even a coloring app. It's not the same thing, but it still works. It still helps. Try anything creative.
It's convenient.
Shorts. It is. It's convenient. It's a convenient, quick creative thing. Short stories. I even like Mad Libs and stuff like that. I feel like are creative outlets. So start small if you need to. Find little things that you can be creative with, and then get progressively bigger at that.
Mm-hmm. We colored a couple months ago.
Yeah, we need to do it
together, I should say. Yeah, you color with your daughter
more often. Well, I still have the coloring book you got me for my birthday 3 years ago.
Oh, the curse word one?
No, the Beauty and the Beast one.
Oh, did I buy you a curse word one?
No, Kelly bought curse word ones.
I bought somebody a curse word coloring book. I could have sworn it was you, but it might have been somebody else.
It was somebody else. See, I saw my Beauty and
That's
the
right.
Beast coloring
You
book.
had to hide it because Lily.
Because Lily would have stolen it.
Yeah.
It's very pretty though. So yes, I highly recommend coloring books.
There are so many adult coloring books out there now.
There's a Harley Quinn one that I want.
Yeah, we both have an Edgar Allan Poe one, which even includes like quotes from his short stories and poems. There are mandala ones. Those ones are meant to be very relaxing and calming.
I don't like the mandala one so much. It says lame ass. And then I have Star Wars coloring book.
Nice. There are so many coloring books out there.
So many. I have like several coloring books on my wish list as well. So like, if we ever finish this one, I have new ones. Fairies and horror. Did I just paper cut myself? I did. I did fucking paper cutted myself. Text role playing is a big one of mine. That's how I met my husband. A long time ago. I used to be an amazing text role player, but that was, 20 years ago. Anyway, was creativity the last one?
Yeah. No.
You're like, yes, no, never mind.
No. Creative was the last one that I said, yes, but it is not the last one.
What's the next
There
one?
are a lot. So set aside relaxation time, which I think is the same as take time off.
Yes, 100, and that can include. I know we're going to talk about sleep, but that can include, and I highly recommend it. Try doing like a guided meditation when you go to sleep and stuff like that. That can also be part of that taking time off. Just take some time to relax. Take some time for you. If I have a particularly hard stream, if I like have a particularly hard one of these, like the first one we did was about PTSD, which is my cocktail of choice. I did a guided meditation to help me sleep because I knew I was going to be a little bit more stressed out than other people were, or than I would be for the other ones. So guided meditations, there's a ton of them on YouTube. Look them up. Okay, go ahead.
Next one is get plenty of sleep.
Yes, highly important. You can you can see a sleep doctor, but your sleep is important. And just a few tips that my sleep doctor from the one consultation gave me was making sure you don't use your phone. Now I use my phone for bedtime, but I use my phone once it's bedtime. It's reading only. So I have a visual novel that I read. I have webtoons that I read and stuff like that. So I turn on my Xbox. I turn on the YouTubes. I have a couple of rain sounds that I listen to, rain thunderstorm sounds that I put on. It's a black screen, so it doesn't add any light. I try and remain nice and calm. I read my stories. I don't read any of my horror stories before I go to sleep, but I read my stories. That's when I typically fall into like the few romance stories that I read, or slice of life stories or stuff like that. And then I give myself like a cutoff time. So it's like, if I start reading at 11, at like 12, I try to put it down. At 1, at the very latest, I have to put my phone down. I have to put it down whenever I'm reading. So maximum of 2 hours. And then I try to go to sleep. However, if I roll over and I just like spend 15, 20 minutes just laying there thinking, I will roll back over. I will pick my phone back up. I will continue to read until I can barely keep my eyes open. So yes, I do get to the point where I have to mentally exhaust myself. I also have sleeping medication. Well, not sleeping medication. I take cyclobenzaprine. It's a muscle relaxer. I take that at 7:30, so I can hopefully go to sleep by like midnight if I'm lucky. So know your body, know your brain, know when to turn things off. Don't do anything that's engaging. Like reading is not always very engaging for me. Sometimes I will get engaged and I will read all night. But it's extremely engaging for Vanri.
Yes. Reading is really, it's dangerous for me to read before bed because I will read until 5 a.m. Like I can't not. If I'm really into something, I can't put it down. So I watch YouTube videos before I go to sleep.
Yeah. So do whatever, like figure out what your routine is, but make it a routine. Go to the bed the same time every night. It has to be a routine. Wake up at the same time every morning. You know, like, I know that's harder when you work like a retail job like Vanri does, and sometimes you have to go in earlier than others, but try if you can to maintain a schedule. And that will definitely help with your sleep. And then, like, as I said, sometimes people need calming music. Some people need white noise. Some people need thunderstorms. Some people need absolute quiet. So just figure out what, like, that optimal setting is for you to sleep and try to maintain that as best as possible. Within reason. I mean, like, Vanri would like it to be absolutely silent for her to sleep. That's not going to work for 4 other people in the house. And we live in a complex. One of those people doesn't get home till 1 o'clock in the morning. So there is no absolute... The only absolute silence there is probably from, like, 2 or 3 a.m. to about, like, 8 or 9 a.m. So she's got a couple hour window when everybody that lives in this house is quiet, but that doesn't mean that everybody outside of the house is going to be quiet.
But I mean, I have ways that I manage that on my own. I have earplugs, and I have, thankfully, Crymson gave me her box fan.
Which is loud as shit.
So, loud, yeah, it's loud as shit. So I don't have to use, because I was using a YouTube video before, and it was a black screen, but there was still light coming from my laptop. So, like, I was literally pointing a screen at myself all night, and I kept waking up. So then she gave me the box fan, and my laptop wasn't on, and I slept so much better. But then we went to Indiana, and we had, like, pretty silent conditions, and I slept really, really well. And then now I'm back here, and it's like, what? Like, my body's just like, but we liked that. I'm not sleeping very well right now.
It was an insane amount of silence, though. Like, I don't know how you ever slept in LA, because there's no way in hell in LA it was ever that quiet.
I don't know how I slept in LA either, because I didn't start wearing earplugs until I moved here. So, like, I have no fucking clue how I slept in LA.
You should think about that.
I'm a little bit convinced that I didn't sleep, and I just...
Imagine.
It was just all a waking dream. Like...
It was so quiet, I couldn't sleep. I had trouble sleeping because of how silent it is, because I need some kind of noise, or else I'm waking up every 5 minutes. So it was I slept terribly while they were there. One night I got 4 hours of sleep. It was awful. I got 4 hours of sleep. I was up for 3 hours. I took a half an hour nap, and then I fucking plowed through till like 2 o'clock in the morning the next day.
Yeah, that was our long day. That shouldn't have been a long day.
Yeah. That was fun. That was so much fun. But sleep is super important, and we don't get nearly enough. So try very hard to manage your sleep as best as you possibly can, and work towards better sleep. And if you can't sleep really well, if you keep waking up, you have nightmares, anxiety, or something like that, insomnia, you can. If you have a PCP, you can talk to them about sleep health. They could prescribe something. They could recommend you to a sleep doctor. Anything like that. They will, okay, I will warn you, they will automatically want to test you for sleep apnea, because that's the new thing. Which I'm not happy about. Because they're like, we're going to test you for sleep apnea. And I'm like, I don't have any symptoms for sleep apnea. I have insomnia from PTSD. I can't sleep because I don't want to. And they're like, we're going to test you for sleep apnea. And I'm like, okay. But you can go through tests for it if you want. That'll talk, like, it at the point where, like, I still have to go through the testing for it, but they can't give me, if it's really that bad, they can prescribe me things to help me sleep. So, fun times. Insomnia can come from, like, a million fucking different things. You could have a mineral deficiency and have insomnia. Sleep is fucking weird. Chemistry sucks.
It comes from anxiety and depression as well. So insomnia.
You can have insomnia for literally any reason.
Yeah. My doctor thinks my insomnia comes from anxiety, which is why she prescribed me anxiety medicine that is supposed to make me sleepy, but instead it just wired me right before bed, and then I didn't sleep.
Well, you also get wired off of... It could be, I'm not sure, Lady Dragoness. You also get wired off of antihistamines, so that's something you probably need to tell her. Like, hey, by the way, Benadryl doesn't make me sleepy, it makes me wide awake, so can we move forward knowing that information?
Antihistamines will make me sleepy for like 2 nights, and then it's like the buildup in my system is what wires in like the 3rd night.
That's not unusual.
Yeah.
I don't think that's unusual. You're just a weird kind of person.
Yeah. I think I'm going to take a sleeping pill tonight now that we're talking about sleep.
I already took my medicine, just on hope for the best. What is
It'd be really nice if I could just sleep through the night instead of being a baby. I don't want to sleep like a baby. I want to sleep like a rock.
You want to sleep like the dead. Benadryl doesn't knock me out within minutes, but it does help me stay asleep. Sometimes. Oh, I wish something was like a horse tranquilizer to me.
I really liked those all natural sleeping pills that I got from the health shop by where I work, but they're $30, and that's a lot. It's $1 a pill.
That's a lot when you don't have $30.
Exactly. So it was fine when I was working the nice cushy job. Not so great now.
I'm sure we can find $30 to get you some more. What's next on our list of things?
The last 2 things are exercise and eating well.
Wonderful things that I am attempting to do. I think we're both attempting.
Yeah.
Exercise I lack motivation for right now. So I'm going to try again next week because I need to exercise to heal my back, to get my back strong enough to not cause me any pain. But I might have to like yell at everybody in the house to kind of push me to exercise until I get on it on a normal schedule. But eating healthy is like walking through a minefield anymore. Because jasmine plants help with anxiety and depression. Fucking fill the house then. Everybody will be happy, sunshiny rainbows.
Yep.
Okay, so when we talk about healthy eating, unfortunately, healthy eating has also become one of those capitalist marketable things. So it's really like, okay, well, what is healthy? And then we go through fads as we go through these things. Like, what was like 80 million the Plato diet.
Paleo.
Thank you. The paleo diet, Atkins diet, keto diet. Kale is amazing.
Which all 3 of those are so paleo, Atkins, and keto are all just the diabetic diet. That's all it is. It's diabetic diet. Cut down on carbs.
Cut down or cut out completely of carbs. And I will tell you, I am not a nutritionist, but cutting out carbs completely can be very bad for you. So talk to a nutritionist or your healthcare provider before you step forward with any kind of eating changes or dietary changes that are for your health. Because things can happen like my blood pressure started going up when I started changing my eating habits. If you were not here earlier, I am currently suffering from cross my fingers, knock on wood, temporary, what's the word? Hypoglycemia. So I am reducing the amount of sugar that I intake, which was a lot. I'm reducing the amount of sugar I intake, so my body is pissed, and it's now saying, okay, well, we're not getting enough sugar anymore. So eventually that will hopefully go away. But I also still need to go to my doctor to confirm these things and to see what I can do differently moving forward. So you have to be careful. You have to remember that when you're talking about dietary changes, it's everything. Nothing is too terrible for you as long as you Words just fucking left my brain. Eat when you the fucking moderation. Everything is okay in moderation. So like, okay, it's okay to occasionally have like a cheeseburger. Just don't have a cheeseburger every day. Don't have 4 at once. I've done that. It's a terrible idea. I was really hungry. So moderation is key. Knowing what's best for you is key. Eating whole wheat bread and whole grain bread is better than eating white bread. Potato bread, is potato bread good or bad?
I don't know, but it's delicious.
I fucking hate potato bread.
I know you do.
IBS and sucks. No more pizza, mac and cheese, cheeseburgers. Ugh, that's terrible. Vel has IBS. Like, you can't eat that. He's like, fucking watch me. I'll pay for it later. It's fine. So that's, and when I mean minefield, we see sign like, oh, this is healthy. Like, okay, veggie straws. I thought veggie straws were good for you. They're potato based.
Yeah. Well, technically, potatoes are a vegetable.
Yes, potatoes are a vegetable.
So they're not lying, but it's also starchy and a carb.
Yes. So like, I thought what I was eating was like, oh, these are based on vegetables. A little bit. They have like little bits of like veggies and more veggies in them, but they're still a potato-based snack. So they're not really good for you. They're not better for you. I mean, things like popcorn are better for you, but when you cover it in salt and butter, that changes it. So like, not supposed to have a a ham sub. Ate a ham sub because fuck you. I've done it. Trust me, I have my gallbladder removed. They're like, no more caffeine, no more chocolate, no more fried foods. I was like, so you want me to just stop eating, right? No more fatty foods. There's a lot of stuff I need to cut out. So I'm trying to replace it with things like salads and stuff like that. Things that are healthier. So far, my breakfast has changed. Now I need to A, remember to eat lunch, and B, make healthier lunch choices. I hate sandwiches. But typically, when you don't have a lot of money, sandwiches are super cheap. Because lunch meat is cheap, and cheese is cheap, and bread is cheap. And when you put all those together, you have a food. You have a food that you can eat, and the carbs help you throughout the day. Which is terrible. So, like, healthier lunch options is the thing. And then, or you can go the route that our friend Tim's going, where he does an Atkins shake for breakfast, and he does, I think, like a meal bar at lunch, and then he does the Atkins snacks, and then he has a regular dinner. And he's lost so much weight. Super proud of him. Lost so much weight. Feels a lot healthier for it, which is wonderful. But eating healthy is not easy. Yeah, eating healthy can be deceiving. Because companies can say that something's healthy and they don't actually have to prove it. Like, there's a lot of false advertising there. That's great! As long as you wanted to lose 11 pounds, that's amazing. So, yeah, eating and then exercising. Everybody, and I can confirm, when you walk a lot, it is easy to lose weight. I can confirm this from multiple sources. You walk a lot, lose weight. It literally starts melting off of you after a couple months, is what my doctors and everything keep telling me. However,
that's what happened to my mom.
It is hotter than
shit ton of weight.
I was gonna say, I don't remember your mom being heavyset, but
she was. They moved down to Florida, and she started going on like twice daily walks with the dogs, because before we didn't really take our dogs for walks because we had a big backyard, so they could run around in the huge backyard, so we didn't have to take them for walks. But then they moved down to Florida, they didn't have a big backyard anymore, so she had to take the dog for walks twice a day, and the weight just melted off of her. Like, we used to be able to share clothes. We can't anymore. Well, she can still wear mine, but I can't wear hers.
I'm mad.
Yeah. Well, not really. I don't want to dress like my mom.
No, you don't. I've seen your mom's clothes. You don't dress like your mom. You are a sexy potato. Don't worry. I have a corset. I have a $300 corset I would like to get back into. That'd be wonderful because it's a $300 corset. But yeah, my problem is that it is hotter than Satan's asshole right now. But I keep coming up with shit like that. So, like, right now would be a great time to go for a walk. Like, after the show would be a great time for me to just go for a walk. And I need to go, if I can't walk during the day, I need to go for walks at night. So that's something I need to get on top of. But again, it's one of those things. It's hard to exercise when you don't have the motivation to exercise. So that's when you go back to your support circle and you're like, hey, I really need help doing this. And you might find an exercise buddy. You might find somebody who can help motivate you. Even if your roommates are like, you fucking exercise today? Go do it. I still need to record me doing all those exercises for people. Because the exercises that I do are specifically to help with my degenerative disc disease. Which just means that the cartilage in my back is going to slowly deteriorate. It's fun. Not really. But if you don't properly take care of yourself, if you properly take care of yourself, you can be in your 80s and not experience any back pain. If you're a lame ass, you stop doing your exercises, then the pain comes back and you can't tolerate so many things. So the combination of already being overweight, and the combination of having an active toddler and never having really been in great shape, my back hurts just all the fucking time. You spend 4 hours in a chair, 4 or 5 hours in a chair. That's not really great for your back, and a ton of other things, and it sucks. But the thing is that the reason my back hurts is my fault. Not anybody else's fault. It is my fault. I know I can make it better if I just would do my exercises and stay on top of them, and I would feel amazing again. So that's what it comes down to. I need to remember to do these things so that I can feel better. And then with the things like eating healthy and stuff like that comes and exercise comes an ownership that you also need to have. And I'm not saying punishment, ownership. So, like, you have a bit, like, me and Vanri were like, we're gonna eat good while we're at this convention. We didn't.
We did not, even a little bit.
I don't think we want too terrible on some of the meals.
We ate a lot. It was a lot of fast food. Like, a lot more fast food this past weekend than we normally eat.
Yeah, I guess, like, I had a Dunkin' sandwich every morning.
Every morning. We had rallies.
Twice.
I had rallies.
No,
we had rallies twice. Well, you did have the ice cream.
I did have the ice cream.
First time. Yes, we had rallies twice. We had Burger King.
Arby's. I had Popeyes. You had pizza.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I was like, I have to get my carbs under control, and then I went fucking carb crazy this past weekend.
It's also hard. It's also harder when you have a restrictive diet and you're in a situation like that. And yes, we could have done way better about it. We could have made healthier choices, but we were tired and we didn't. And are we going to punish ourselves? No. It happened. It's over with. But now we need to go back into our lives and make healthier decisions. And hopefully the next time we do a convention, which is probably going to be in a couple of months, October. I think the next convention's October.
Was it Derby?
Comic-Con for kids.
I don't remember that.
I told you about it. No, we conversed about it. You're like, I remember nothing.
I didn't say we didn't talk about it. I just said I don't remember that.
Pack food. We did pack food. I packed protein. I packed some protein bars, so I didn't shake, but that happened anyway. She packed some meal supplements.
I had all my Atkins bars and shakes, and I had them in my bag, and I had other things instead.
So we made terrible decisions when it came to food, and we just need to make less terrible decisions. But you get busy, you're surrounded by friends. Not to excuse it, you're busy, you're surrounded by friends. Everybody's like, hey, we're gonna rallies. You're like, I'm gonna sit here and have a meal bar. It's like, no, I'm just gonna go to rallies too. Now, when you go to places, can you make better meal decisions than we did? Oh, 100%.
Well, not at rallies.
Not at rallies. Not at fast
There's
food.
no healthy option at rallies.
Wendy's, I hear the food, I have, when I go to Wendy's, I typically try to have the apple pecan salad.
And the thing is, Wendy's was just on the other side of the convention center, and yet we never went there.
I didn't even know there was a Wendy's there.
Yes, like on the other side of the parking garage where we always parked, there was a Wendy's right there.
Okay.
So the same distance away as rallies.
Well, I think our Friday night and Saturday night dinner wasn't terrible,
Oh no.
though expensive.
What did we have Friday night?
Irish
we
breakfast.
went to the Irish. Yeah, we had Irish breakfast, and then Saturday night, I
ate
still
at the
had a
Hilton.
burger, but yeah, it was a healthier choice than fast food. And then Sunday we had rallies. We also didn't eat lunch on Sunday.
We had a dinner. We had a lunch dinner.
Yeah, it was late lunch, early dinner.
It was very weird.
Yeah.
So
And then I had a protein bar before I went to bed because we were up until 2 a.m.
I had a lot of snacks. I had a lot of trail mix snacks. It's great. So yeah, 100% could have made healthier decisions, or could have at least made healthier decisions more often. So okay, we had rallies one afternoon for lunch. If we had it Saturday afternoon for lunch, we could have tried for something healthier on Sunday afternoon for lunch, something like that. So we try and live and learn. But again, this is what I was talking about, the ownership versus punishment. I own the fact that I did not do a great job at the convention, though I walked in with the best intentions. I'm not going to beat myself up over it. There's no point. It happened. I'm going to move on and just try and go from there. And that's a lesson that was really hard for me to learn. I would just beat myself up. But every time I beat myself up for my eating decisions, I would fall back into terrible eating patterns because I'd feel guilty, and I would push myself to feel even more guilty until I was depressed, and then I was depressed and I would fall back into comfort food, which is terrible. That's a awful thing to do. So I just undid everything I was working so hard for. So, but we also are aware of the fact that with healthy food follows money. So you can't always afford to eat the healthiest that you can. Yep, depression eating. I'm really good at that. So that's why I'm going to try and do this in the Real Money Gaming Discord. I'm going to try and share some of our healthier recipes. Like I have a vegetarian chili recipe that's like 200 calories a serving. Something like that.
It's fantastic.
It's delicious. The only difference is that we
put meat in it.
Yeah, we put ground beef in it.
Yeah,
we're not vegetarians. And then there's a couple.
That doesn't make it much more.
Hey, Wicked.
Calorie wise.
No, it doesn't make it. Especially, I mean, like if you can afford that, like we usually get the 80-20 beef because it's cheaper. If you can afford the 90-10 beef, that's going to be better for you. If you can afford venison, that's going to be even better for you. So it all depends on where it comes from. But there's some really cheap recipes in there. I also make it's called the Vietnamese noodle bowl. It's like $2 a serving. Comes down to $2-3 a serving for it. It's a little bit different for us because I changed the ingredients that I use. They tell you to use the vermilion.
Like they tell you to use the rice noodles.
Yes.
And we use ramen noodles.
Yes. Because the rice noodles were terrible to cook.
I hate them. I also hate them. I hate everything about them. I always have.
So yeah, we tried that, and they just didn't work for us. So we've done udon and we've done the ramen noodles, which aren't better for you, but they're still delicious. And if you like if you like sesame oil, it's wonderful. So I'm going to try and share some healthier recipes that that we can all get behind and, you know, work towards healthier eating options. But then again, as I said, have a cheat day. Don't beat yourself up for it. And I'm like, don't go hard or go home on your cheat day. Just like, you know, like have eggs and toast on your cheat day, or like go to Wendy's for lunch or something like that. Like one like every Sunday, like whatever your gaming day is or whatever, just like order pizza for dinner. Do something like that, but don't beat yourself up for it, and try and like maintain that like one day. But again, I am not a nutritionist. I am trained in literally nothing. So please, please, please talk to your healthcare provider first. Talk to your PCP. Talk to a nutritionist if your insurance allows it. And then, again, if you have a therapist, talk to a therapist about all these things. These also, like, because especially like me, when you're reducing your sugar intake, sugar is an addictive thing. So you're going to have a little bit of feedback. So, fun. It's all fun. But women specifically are supposed to be eating less than like 100 grams of sugar a day. This has 10 grams of sugar in it, and this is my protein bar, and I'm very disappointed. Again,
if you want me to pick you up some Atkins one,
I will try anything.
They're pretty tasty.
Yeah, this is, again,
they only have 2 grams of carbs.
Oh, nice. How many carbs are in this? I'm not going to be on there. Again, this is the minefield that I was talking about. Like, I see protein bar, and you think it's not going to be terrible for you. It's 150 calories for this bar, which I think is terrible.
No, that's pretty good, actually. A meal is supposed to be 500 calories, so if that's a meal bar...
I don't know if it's a meal bar. It just says protein. It's a snack bar.
Well, they say snacks are supposed to be about 200 calories.
It's got, it's 13% of saturated fat. So 2.5 grams saturated fat.
13% of a 2,000 calorie a day diet.
Yes, 13% of a 2,000 calorie a day diet. And then it's got 19 grams of carbs.
That's a lot.
That is a lot.
That is a third of my day.
Includes 10 grams of added sugars, which is 20% of your daily values. It's got no potassium, no vitamin D. It's got a little bit of calcium, a little bit of iron, and a little bit of phosphorus.
Yeah, those aren't great.
That's terrible. However, if you look at my bran cereal that I eat, the vitamin part is like this long, and it's like 100%. It'll say anywhere from like 60 to 100%. So I would give these to you, but they've got almonds in them, and you hate almonds.
They also are
very
20 grams of carbs per bar.
So, and the taste is already getting to me. That's another thing I have a problem with. I can't eat the same thing every day because the taste will get to me, and then I can't eat it anymore. So fun. So that's again talking about like how eating healthy is that minefield of like, am I doing this right? Is this actually healthy? Like, because we see healthy words and we're like, okay, well then it's healthy, but that's not necessarily true, unfortunately. Sometimes the stuff that tell you it's healthy is the least healthy for you. Like I refuse to buy anything that says low fat anymore because all the added extra chemicals that are in it to make it low fat is not worth it. And we also think fat is the enemy when you need fat. You need to ingest fat. Sugar is the addictive thing that is the enemy that people aren't paying attention to. So, but then again, this is all knowledge that I have gained through various videos and articles that I have seen and or watched. I can't even express to you how much I am not a medical professional or researcher or any of these things. This is information I have gathered over the years. I have then confirmed with my doctor. I should be doing this, not that. Yes. So, again, confirm things with your doctor. Try to eat more fruits and vegetables. Like, I like bell peppers. I will cut bell peppers into strips and I will eat the shit out of bell peppers. Raw bell peppers. I'll eat them. Vanri, of course, hates bell peppers.
Mm-hmm.
And then people are like, doesn't it upset your stomach? Nope. I have gastroacid reflux disease, or gastrointestinal reflux disease. Whatever you want to call it. I take medication, so nothing upsets my stomach. The whole point of my medication, nothing upsets my stomach ever again. What is in my eye? So we have plenty of time. If anybody has questions about burnout or mental health in general, the floor is open. Okay, it went away. It's so weird seeing myself without glasses.
It is weird seeing you without glasses.
I'm looking to try contacts eventually. Only because, like, fake eyelashes are beautiful, but you can't wear them if you're wearing glasses. Nope, eyelash is still there. There's still something in my eye. And I'm not videoing me cooking. We did that once, not doing it again. That wasn't even me cooking, that was her.
Yeah, it was me cooking.
AccuView Oasis.
That's a fun video, though.
It is a fun video.
It's still on YouTube.
I have that thing with my eyes.
Astigmatism?
Thank you. So,
You're welcome.
my eyes
You
also...
need special contacts for those.
Yeah, I need special contacts for those. Eye stigmata, basically. I have eye stigmata. So yeah, I need stuff for that, and then my eyes hate contacts, so they instantly dry out. So I need the hydrating ones. So I used to work in a warehouse, and with all the dust and stuff, one time I lost my contact because it went behind my eye. It eventually came back.
Oh God.
Yeah.
No, thank you. Nope. So glad I have 20/20 vision. I just.
Oh, and then I was like, every time it puts it in, it's my eyes sting, and they asked me a bunch of questions, and then the woman looked at me and she goes, "Do you put your makeup on and then your contacts in?" I was like, "Yeah, why?" And she goes, "That's why your eyes sting, because you keep getting makeup in your eye." And I was like, "Oh." She was like, "Put your contacts in first and then do your makeup." And I was like, "Oh, okay." It was easy enough. I was not very smart in my 20s. At all.
I mean, I feel like teens and 20s are when you're supposed to be dumb about things.
Well,
I did not.
My favorite is, and I did the same thing in my 20s. My favorite was like, "I'm in my 20s. I know everything." And you're like, no. Oh, sweet summer child. No, you don't. You don't know everything. And then you get mad because you're like, "I know everything. I'm an adult now." And then you turn 30 and you're like, "Oh my God, I was a moron." Every 5 years, though, that kind of happens to me, and I'm like, 30-year-old me was an idiot. When I turn 40, 40-year-old me is going to be like, 35-year-old me was an idiot. No, you're not tall enough to be an adult. I'm kidding, I love you.
Wicked's not allowed to adult.
No, she's not
We
allowed
confirmed
to.
that at Drolicon.
For so many reasons. For so many reasons.
Her adult card was revoked.
So, oh, and Wicked, you accidentally gave me two, supernatural glasses. Not that I'm complaining, but I wanted to let you know in case you took inventory and you could not find one. So, by the way, Wicked made this beautiful glass that she then gave to us.
And this mug.
It looks better when there's drinks in them that are dark enough to show everything off. So you can see yours very clear. I love your mug. It's beautiful. Yeah, you told me that you went to the wrong oh, you went to the it's Saturday. I was like, I knew you tried to check into the wrong hotel, but I didn't know. I did not know that you started going.
You went there again. Oh my god.
I had a panic attack on the way back. I thought that my GPS was taking us back to our Airbnb. Man, what a long weekend. What a long, fun weekend. All the fun times.
Yep.
So I'm hoping in the next week. Of course you're not allowed to navigate. I'm hoping over the next week or so. It might wait till next month. We can start turning these into podcast episodes. Now that we have learned some things from the podcasters at the podcasting convention.
It was kind of like a podcasting convention because they were like, "Oh, what's your podcast?" We stream. We were the only streamers.
Yeah, it's fun times.
Yeah,
but we did learn.
But everybody had such great advice and insight.
We will eventually make something that is literally just a podcast because that feels like it's easier. I don't know if that's true, but we'll find out. 100% in the realm of easy, streaming is the easiest. Streaming requires nothing to be done afterwards.
This is true.
Whereas video editing does.
And sound editing.
And sound editing and all that stuff. So, but yeah. So Vanri is working on transferring Alabaster Forest over to a podcast.
Which I think we might have lost an episode or two.
Did you can you double check Twitch? We've lost several episodes, things in other places, so
yeah, I think what I'm probably gonna do is record probably with Orson.
Oh, what happened?
Yes, like we lost this footage, but here's what happened to bridge to the next episode. Yeah. And it'll probably be like a short thing that I put in front of the next one instead of by itself.
I think we have to do that with Lost too, if we can even remember what happened. Crotcheteer Con Mom keeps calling me Elizabeth. I don't have the heart to correct her. There wasn't Elizabeth there.
Yes, Elizabeth from North by Northwest.
What crap? I read at one point. She goes, Tony Skipper. I read a thing that had me cracking up. That this woman. Hey, Melons. This woman had called her neighbor Maud, I think, or something, for like 20 years. And like the entire time they'd been living next to each other. And she's standing there talking to her neighbor, one of her other neighbors, and she said, so-and-so and Maud. She goes, who's Maud? And she like points to the person's house and explains and everything like that. And she's like, her name's Laura. Like, something completely different that doesn't even sound like the original name. And so she's like, here I have been calling her the wrong name for God only knows how long. She even signs her Christmas cards Maud when sending them to me. I guess not to me. And I was howling. She's like, I'm so embarrassed. She's like, I have to keep calling her Maud now. I can't correct myself. I've been there.
That's amazing.
Except for I don't call people by the wrong name. I go, your name was again? I am so sorry. I've lived next to you for 20 years. I'm terrible with names. At that point, I would just like have post-it notes to call everyone to. I call a lot of people sweetie.
You call everyone dear because you're a 97-year-old woman. Wicked.
I call everybody sweetie. Sweetie, honey, babe. Occasionally people are like, don't call me that. Okay, how about asshole? Just kidding. What would you like me to call you by my name? Which is, I've already told you. Alright, sweetie. Okie dokie then.
I am surprised by how well everybody at the convention remembered my name.
Considering we use our gamer names?
Yeah, exactly. And like Ronnie comes up to me, Anna! D&D Con Mom is like Vanri, yeah. Yeah, a lot of people call me Vanri.
It's the Jersey accent. He gets a pass.
And yeah, D&D Con Mom called me by my real name too, and I was like, I don't remember introducing myself as Anna, but okay.
Well, she was sitting next to Wicked.
That's true.
Who called you by your real name the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's probably why.
Yeah, very true.
I just like
don't be
fine.
sorry, it's totally fine.
I just like that on like by like the end of Saturday and all of Sunday, like a lot of people were like, and that's Crymson. Like that became a thing, and I was like, I don't know if I'm offended or excited. Like somebody was going through the dumplings like book that everybody saw. Everybody like wrote it, and they're like, I saw the word orgasm, and was like, I bet it's Crymson. It's Crymson. Thanks.
Well, the thing is, if it wasn't you, it'd be Randall. So
I'm actually curious to see if he would have written something like that in there. I'm gonna have to send him a message. Would you ever dare to write about orgasms in somebody else's book? And I have a question. You have to settle an argument. Settle a discussion. We did. We met the male version of me. It was hilarious.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Very true.
I wouldn't say I've met my match, but I did meet the male version of me. It was hilarious. We're about the same age. Randall is amazing, and his book is delightful. If you guys are listening to this, definitely check out The Little Game Master. It is an amazing book for kids, and it introduces kids to D&D. It is our new book at night. He's very excited because he beat out Harry Potter. We stopped reading Harry Potter so we could read this every single night. So we'll eventually get back to Harry Potter. It is. Did you read it, Wicked? It's so cute. It's so cute, and it's got a lot of lessons in it that I absolutely adore. Including one of the girls playing an orc fighter, a male orc fighter.
Yeah.
And everybody was like, what? And she's like...
Yeah, and she was like, it seems like the perfect choice to me.
Yeah.
Like,
so, diverse cast of kids. There's 2 girls and 3 boys. Their decisions are pretty cool. What they go through is very interesting. So it's very well done. It was very well thought out. Lily loves it. It's rhyming. so it's very easy to get through. I'm gonna have this book memorized in like a month. And he signed it to her. It says, to Lily, adventure is everywhere. So,
Yep.
it's wonderful. Oh, I forgot to get my death picture out of my D&D book that you bought me. I add it to my wall.
He is a very talented artist.
He is a very talented artist in many different art styles, which is interesting. I'm not used to people having more than one style. I'm used to seeing everything done a specific way, but he does things differently, which was very nice. It was wonderful. Alright, well, I think it's best, we don't have any questions for Burnout, which is fine.
Yeah.
So I'm going to cut this a little short, which is fine. And I will hopefully confirm with everybody that I will be back tomorrow morning playing Borderlands with people, but I will double check and then I will let you guys know in Discord. Fun things. I love your face. I know you just got here, Melon. You can come hang out with me tomorrow. You can come hang out with me on Wednesday. And you gotta finish Tokyo Dark on Wednesday, hopefully. I'm a little nervous I'm not going to finish it on Wednesday. I'm gonna stuck playing that game forever. And then I have to see if there's alternate endings, because then I might have to do a let's play of it to find different endings. So, but yes, please be nice to yourselves. Take your medication, drink your water, eat healthy, talk with your PCP about any changes. Talk with your therapist. Find a nutritionist if you can. That'd be a great find. If your insurance will allow it. Make sure you follow Vanri on the Twitters. And you can follow me on the Twitters as well. And yeah, hopefully soon this will be in podcast format. And to help make sure it stays in podcast format, make sure you follow me on Patreon. And you can support the stream for the low price of $2 a month, which I would highly appreciate. As I said, it all goes to everything that I make goes back into the stream. So, thank you guys so much. I love your faces. Take care of yourselves. I will be streaming tomorrow. Vanri will be back on Sunday.
No, Monday.
Monday. Oh yeah, you have to work this Sunday, right?
Yes, and I'm also going to the movies with Maria after work.
Nice. What are you gonna go see?
Midsummer, I think it's called.
I have no idea.
Yeah, yes, Midsummer. Thank you, Melon.
Sumner?
Summer. It's a horror movie. Much like Hereditary, apparently. Yeah.
Like,
so we'll
excited. Not anymore. Horror movie, yay! Like Hereditary. No. All right. So Monday you will be back. Now you will be back with Vanri. I will see you all tomorrow. Saturday is Lost. Sunday is Malhaven. So we're back to the zombies, and then you've got Vanri on Monday. I love your faces. Take care of yourselves again. Have a great night. Bye.
Bye.